Imagine for a moment that all the limitations you've placed on your life are but illusions, barriers you've unconsciously accepted. Now consider this: the infinite power of God resides not outside of you, but within you, waiting to be awakened. This power is ready to reshape your reality in ways that will leave you in awe. The infinite power within you is the key to transforming your life. It's not something external or distant, it's an ever-present force that resides at the core of your being, waiting for your recognition and activation. This power is God's essence, manifesting in and through you, capable of creating realities that surpass all logic and understanding. To grasp this truth is to step into a life of miracles, where the boundaries of possibility dissolve, and the extraordinary becomes your everyday experience. Many go through life feeling powerless, searching for answers outside of themselves, believing that external circumstances or other people hold the key to their happiness. But this is a grand misunderstanding. The truth is, everything you seek already exists within you. The creative force that brought the universe into being, the same power that causes the sun to rise and the stars to shine, dwells in you as your very essence. It is the divine spark that connects you to the infinite source of all creation. This power operates through the medium of your imagination and belief. Whatever you imagine with clarity and conviction, and believe to be true, will inevitably find its way into your experience. It's not a question of whether the power works, it always works, as consistently and reliably as the law of gravity. The real question is, are you using it consciously or unconsciously? Are you directing it toward the life you desire, or are you allowing it to be shaped by doubt, fear, and negative patterns? The mind is the gateway to this infinite power. Your thoughts and feelings are the seeds you plant in the fertile soil of your subconscious. When you think thoughts of abundance, joy, and love, and when you feel as though these things are already yours, you activate the creative process. Your subconscious, being infinitely intelligent, orchestrates events, circumstances, and opportunities that align with your inner state. It doesn't question or analyze, it simply responds to the impressions you impress upon it. This is why it's vital to guard your thoughts and emotions. The power within you is neutral. It will create whatever you focus on, whether it's something you desire or something you fear. Many people unknowingly misuse this power, focusing on lack, limitation, and what they don't want, and then wondering why these things show up in their lives. But when you understand that the outer world is merely a reflection of your inner world, you take back your power. You realize that by changing your inner state, you change your external reality. Faith is the cornerstone of this process. Faith is more than a religious concept. It is a deep, unshakable knowing that what you desire is already yours. It's the bridge that connects your current reality to the reality you wish to experience. When you have faith, you no longer need to see physical evidence to believe in your desire's fulfillment. You trust in the unseen, in the invisible workings of the infinite power within you. This trust allows you to relax and let go of the need to control every detail. You don't need to know how or when your desire will manifest. You only need to hold the vision and remain aligned with the feeling of having it. The how and when are not your concern. They are the domain of the infinite intelligence that orchestrates all creation. Your role is to remain steadfast in your faith and to act as though your desire is already a reality. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when the external world seems to contradict your inner vision. This is natural, but it is not a reason to give up. Doubt is simply a test of your faith, an opportunity to strengthen your conviction. When faced with doubt, return to the feeling of your desire fulfilled. Remind yourself that the infinite power within you is greater than any obstacle or challenge. What you focus on expands, so focus on the reality you wish to create. This power doesn't operate in a vacuum, it works in perfect harmony with the universe. When you align with it, you'll notice synchronicities, unexpected events, and opportunities that seem to come out of nowhere. These are not coincidences, they are the physical manifestation of the creative process at work. As you continue to trust and align with this power, these synchronicities will become more frequent and more remarkable. It's important to understand that this power is not limited to a select few. It's not reserved for the special or chosen. It is available to every person, regardless of their background, circumstances, or beliefs. The only requirement is your willingness to acknowledge and use it. The moment you decide to claim this power as your own, you step into a new way of living, one where you are no longer at the mercy of circumstances, but are the deliberate creator of your reality. Living in alignment with this power requires a shift in perspective. It requires you to stop looking at the world as something separate from you, and to see it instead as a mirror reflecting your inner state. It requires you to take responsibility for your life, not in a burdensome way, but in an empowering way. You are not a victim of life, you are the author of it. Every thought, every feeling, and every belief is a brushstroke on the canvas of your reality. As you cultivate this awareness, you will begin to see evidence of the infinite power within you. You'll notice how effortlessly things fall into place when you align with your desires. You'll feel a sense of peace and assurance, knowing that you are always supported by a force far greater than yourself. This is the essence of true freedom, not freedom from challenges, but freedom in knowing that no challenge is greater than the power within you. The infinite power within you is the expression of God's love for you. It is a reminder that you are not separate from the divine, but are one with it. This power is not something you need to earn or achieve, it is your birthright. All that is required is your recognition of it and your willingness to use it for good. When you fully embrace this truth, your life will transform in ways that defy explanation. You will step into a realm of limitless possibilities, where miracles are the norm, and where the extraordinary becomes your everyday reality. This is the power of God within you, an infinite, creative force that is always ready to bless, guide, and uplift you. The question is not whether this power is real, the question is whether you will claim it as your own. Life is full of surprises, yet we often cling to routines, expectations, and familiar patterns. We create mental frameworks of how we think things should unfold, attaching ourselves to specific outcomes and timelines. But the truth is, the divine force that governs the universe operates in ways far beyond human comprehension. When we open ourselves to the idea that the unexpected can bring about our greatest blessings, we allow this force to work its wonders in our lives. When you set an intention or focus on a desire, you ignite a powerful creative process. But this process does not follow the linear path the human mind expects. Instead, it weaves through infinite possibilities, drawing together the perfect people, places, and opportunities to bring your desire into being. This weaving often defies logic and reason, which is why it's so important to release control and surrender to the flow. Surrender does not mean giving up, it means letting go of rigid expectations about how things should unfold. It means trusting that the divine intelligence knows the best way to bring your desires to life. Too often, people miss the blessings that come their way because they are so fixated on one specific outcome. They fail to see that the unexpected might be the answer they've been waiting for, packaged in a form they didn't anticipate. Consider the countless stories of individuals who faced what seemed like setbacks, only to discover later that these were setups for something far greater. A job loss leads to a career breakthrough. A closed door reveals a path to a better opportunity. A perceived failure becomes the catalyst for unimaginable success. These moments remind us that the unexpected is not something to fear but something to embrace. It is often the hand of the divine moving in ways we cannot yet see. The unexpected also teaches us to remain present. When we are rigid in our thinking, we become preoccupied with the future, constantly worrying about outcomes and missing the magic of the moment. But when we embrace the unexpected, we allow ourselves to live fully in the now. We become more attuned to the subtle nudges of intuition and the signs that guide us toward our desires. These signs often appear in the most unlikely forms: a chance encounter, a random comment, or an intuitive feeling that defies logic. Opening yourself to the unexpected requires cultivating a mindset of faith and curiosity. Faith allows you to trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when it doesn't appear that way. Curiosity keeps you open to exploring new possibilities and seeing challenges as opportunities for growth. Together, these qualities create a powerful foundation for navigating the unknown. Faith is particularly important because it anchors you in the belief that the divine intelligence is always working in your favor. Even when circumstances seem chaotic or uncertain, faith reminds you that there is a higher order at play. It allows you to remain calm and centered, knowing that every twist and turn is leading you closer to your desires. Faith transforms obstacles into stepping stones and setbacks into setups for breakthroughs. On the other hand, keeps you open to seeing the beauty and potential in every situation. When you approach life with curiosity, you stop labeling experiences as good or bad and start viewing them as opportunities to learn and grow. Curiosity invites you to explore the unexpected with a sense of wonder rather than fear. It helps you recognize that every experience, no matter how unusual or challenging, is a part of your journey. The unexpected often challenges our beliefs and pushes us out of our comfort zones. It asks us to let go of old patterns and step into new ways of being. This can be uncomfortable, but it is also where the greatest growth occurs. When you embrace the unexpected, you allow yourself to evolve into the person you are meant to be. You discover strengths you didn't know you had and develop resilience that prepares you for even greater blessings. It's also important to remember that the unexpected doesn't always come in dramatic or life-changing events. Sometimes it shows up in small, seemingly insignificant moments: a sudden insight, an unexpected act of kindness, or a new perspective on an old problem. These moments, though subtle, have the power to shift your trajectory in profound ways. They remind you that the divine is always present, working behind the scenes to bring about your highest good. To fully embrace the unexpected, practice gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is present. It opens your heart to receive the blessings that are already in your life and prepares you to welcome even more. When you are grateful, you create a vibrational match with abundance, signaling to the universe that you are ready for more of the same. Gratitude also helps you see the hidden gifts in the unexpected, turning challenges into opportunities and surprises into blessings. Another way to cultivate openness to the unexpected is through visualization and affirmations. When you visualize your desires, don't get caught up in the details of how they will manifest. Instead, focus on the feeling of already having them. Trust that the divine intelligence will work out the how in the most extraordinary ways. Affirmations can also reinforce this trust, reminding you to stay open and receptive to the infinite possibilities around you. The beauty of the unexpected lies in its ability to expand your vision and deepen your connection to the divine. It reminds you that life is not a fixed script, but a dynamic, ever-unfolding masterpiece. When you release your need for control and embrace the mystery of the unknown, you allow the divine to surprise you in the most delightful ways. The unexpected is a gift. It challenges your assumptions, broadens your perspective, and brings you closer to your true self. It teaches you to trust in the infinite intelligence that guides all things and to see life as an adventure filled with endless possibilities. So the next time life surprises you, instead of resisting, lean into it. Trust that the unexpected is part of the divine plan, and know that it is leading you to something far greater than you could have imagined. Faith is the unseen force that bridges the gap between what is and what could be. It is the foundation upon which miracles are built, the invisible thread that connects your desires to their manifestation. Faith is more than mere belief. It is a deep, inner knowing that transcends logic and external circumstances. It is the assurance that what you seek is not only possible but already on its way to you, even if there is no evidence to support it yet. In life, we are often conditioned to rely on what we can see, touch, and measure. This reliance on the physical senses creates a limited perspective, making it difficult to trust in what we cannot yet perceive. But faith operates in the unseen realm, beyond the tangible. It asks you to believe in the reality of your desire before it manifests. This is not an act of blind optimism, but of conscious alignment with the infinite intelligence that governs all creation. Faith is the engine that drives your creative power. When you focus on a desire and believe in its fulfillment, you activate the creative forces of the universe. Your belief impresses upon the subconscious mind, which in turn begins to orchestrate events, opportunities, and circumstances to bring your desire into being. But this process requires unwavering faith. Doubt disrupts it, creating resistance that slows or even prevents manifestation. Faith is not passive, it is an active, dynamic force. It requires you to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you wish to create. This alignment is key because faith without corresponding action is incomplete. Acting in faith means moving through life as though your desire is already fulfilled. It means making decisions and taking steps that reflect your belief in its inevitability. This action is not forced or frantic, but inspired and guided by the deep inner knowing that your desire is on its way. Challenges and obstacles often arise as tests of faith. These moments are not signs of failure but opportunities to deepen your trust in the divine process. When faced with difficulty, it is easy to revert to doubt and fear. But faith asks you to stand firm, to see beyond appearances, and to hold on to the vision of your desired reality. It is in these moments of uncertainty that faith is strengthened, becoming the unshakable foundation upon which miracles are built. One of the greatest gifts of faith is the peace it brings. When you truly believe in the fulfillment of your desires, you no longer feel the need to worry or strive. You trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if the path is not yet clear. This trust allows you to let go of anxiety and to rest in the assurance that the universe is working in your favor. Faith transforms waiting into a joyful anticipation, a confident expectation that what you seek is already yours. Faith also expands your capacity to receive. Often, people limit themselves by focusing on what they think is possible rather than on what they truly desire. They let doubt and fear dictate the scope of their dreams, settling for less than they deserve. But faith removes these limitations, allowing you to dream boldly and expect abundantly. It opens your heart and mind to the infinite possibilities available to you, aligning you with the miraculous. Cultivating faith requires a shift in perspective. It means seeing beyond the physical world and recognizing the spiritual reality that underlies all things. It means understanding that the external world is a reflection of your internal state, and that by changing your inner beliefs, you can transform your outer circumstances. This perspective allows you to see challenges not as barriers, but as stepping stones, guiding you toward your desires. Gratitude is a powerful tool for strengthening faith. When you focus on what you already have and give thanks for it, you align yourself with abundance. Gratitude shifts your attention from lack to sufficiency, creating a vibrational match with the reality you wish to experience. It is an act of faith because it affirms that you trust in the goodness of life and the fulfillment of your desires. Visualization is another way to cultivate faith. When you visualize your desires as already fulfilled, you create a mental picture that impresses upon your subconscious mind. This image, combined with the feeling of having your desire, activates the creative process. Visualization helps you to see beyond appearances and to anchor your faith in the reality of your vision. Faith is also deeply connected to love. When you love yourself and others unconditionally, you align with the divine nature of the universe. This alignment strengthens your faith because it reminds you of your oneness with the source of all creation. Love dissolves fear and doubt, creating a clear channel for the miraculous to flow into your life. Faith is the bridge that connects your desires to their manifestation. It is the invisible force that allows you to move from hope to certainty, from longing to fulfillment. It is the assurance that the universe is always working in your favor, orchestrating events in ways you cannot yet see. Faith is the key to unlocking the infinite possibilities that are your birthright, the foundation upon which miracles are built. When you live in faith, you align yourself with the divine flow of life, opening the door to blessings beyond anything you could imagine. Trust in this process, even when the path is unclear. Hold on to your vision, even when doubt arises. Know that your faith is the catalyst that transforms the invisible into the visible, the unmanifested into the manifested. Through faith, you become a co-creator with the divine, stepping into a life where miracles are not the exception but the norm. Transformation begins within, through the renewal of the mind. Every change you seek in the outer world must first take root in the inner world of your thoughts and beliefs. The mind is the fertile soil where the seeds of transformation are planted, nurtured, and eventually brought to life. When you change the way you think, you change the way you live. This renewal is not a mere adjustment of ideas, but a profound shift in consciousness that allows you to step into a new reality. The mind is a powerful tool, capable of shaping your experience of life. Yet many allow their thoughts to be dictated by external circumstances, reacting to the world rather than creating from within. True transformation requires breaking free from this reactive state and taking control of your mental landscape. It is a deliberate process of identifying and discarding limiting beliefs, replacing them with empowering truths that align with the life you desire. Renewing your mind begins with awareness. You must become conscious of the thoughts that dominate your inner dialogue. Are they rooted in fear, doubt, and lack? Or do they reflect love, faith, and abundance? Often, the mind is cluttered with habitual patterns of thinking that have been ingrained over years, even decades. These patterns may have served a purpose in the past, but they can become barriers to growth if left unchecked. Awareness is the first step to breaking free from these mental chains. Once you are aware of your thought patterns, the next step is to challenge them. Ask yourself whether your beliefs serve your highest good. Are they aligned with the reality you wish to create? Many beliefs are not absolute truths, but interpretations shaped by past experiences, societal conditioning, or the opinions of others. By questioning the validity of these beliefs, you create space for new, empowering ideas to take root. Renewal of the mind requires a willingness to let go of the old to make way for the new. This can be uncomfortable, as the mind often clings to familiarity, even when it no longer serves you. Letting go is an act of trust, a surrender to the process of transformation. It is a recognition that the life you desire cannot coexist with the limitations of your current mindset. You must release what no longer aligns with your vision to make room for what does. Visualization is a powerful tool in the renewal process. When you visualize, you create a mental image of the reality you wish to experience. This image serves as a blueprint for your subconscious mind, guiding your thoughts and actions toward its fulfillment. Visualization is not just about imagining your desires, it is about feeling them as if they are already real. This feeling creates a vibrational match with your desired reality, drawing it closer to you. Affirmations are another effective method for renewing the mind. By repeating positive statements that reflect your desired reality, you reprogram your subconscious mind with empowering beliefs. Affirmations serve as reminders of your intentions, reinforcing the new thought patterns you wish to cultivate. They help to counteract the negative self-talk that often arises during the transformation process, keeping you focused and aligned with your vision. The renewal of the mind also requires consistency. Transformation is not a one-time event, but an ongoing journey. It demands daily commitment to nurturing your new thoughts and beliefs, especially in the face of challenges. The old patterns will attempt to resurface, tempting you to revert to familiar ways of thinking. But with persistence, the new patterns will become the dominant force, shaping your reality in alignment with your desires. It is important to recognize that the renewal of the mind is a holistic process. It involves not only your thoughts but also your emotions and actions. Your emotions are powerful indicators of your mental state. When you feel joy, peace, and gratitude, you align yourself with the frequency of your desires. Conversely, feelings of fear, anger, or despair signal a need to realign your thoughts with your vision. Your actions must also reflect the transformation you seek. Acting as though your desires are already fulfilled reinforces the new mental patterns you are cultivating. This alignment between thought, emotion, and action creates a harmonious flow that accelerates the manifestation of your desires. One of the most profound aspects of renewing your mind is the realization that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts, the consciousness that chooses which ideas to entertain and which to release. This realization empowers you to step out of the victim mentality and into the role of a deliberate creator. You are not at the mercy of your circumstances or past experiences. You are the architect of your reality. Faith plays a crucial role in the renewal process. Faith is the bridge between your current reality and the one you wish to create. It is the assurance that your efforts will bear fruit, even when the results are not yet visible. Faith allows you to persist in the face of doubt and to trust in the unseen forces working on your behalf. It is the foundation upon which transformation is built. Gratitude is another cornerstone of transformation. When you cultivate gratitude, you shift your focus from what is lacking to what is already present. This shift creates a sense of abundance, which attracts more of the same into your life. Gratitude also reinforces the new mental patterns you are cultivating, anchoring them in the present moment. As you renew your mind, you begin to see the world through a new lens. Challenges become opportunities for growth, and setbacks become stepping stones to success. You realize that life is not happening to you, but for you, offering countless opportunities for expansion and self-discovery. This shift in perspective is the essence of transformation. Transformation through the renewal of the mind is not just a change in circumstances, but a shift in your entire being. It is a return to your true self, the limitless creator within. By renewing your mind, you align with the divine flow of life, opening the door to infinite possibilities. Trust in the process, commit to the journey, and watch as your life transforms in ways beyond your imagination. Divine timing is one of life's greatest mysteries, a concept that challenges the human desire for control and instant gratification. It operates on a plane far beyond human comprehension, orchestrating events, circumstances, and opportunities in ways that align perfectly with the grand design of the universe. While we often strive to force outcomes or rush through life, divine timing reminds us that everything happens not when we want it to, but when it is meant to. It is a sacred rhythm, a cosmic dance that ensures the unfolding of events at precisely the right moment for the highest good. At the heart of divine timing is trust. It requires surrendering your need to dictate how and when your desires will manifest. This is not a passive resignation, but an active faith in the intelligence that governs all things. Divine timing operates in harmony with universal laws, aligning your desires with the right conditions, people, and opportunities. Trusting in this timing means releasing your attachment to the outcome and allowing the process to unfold naturally, without resistance or fear. Human impatience often stands in opposition to divine timing. In our fast-paced world, we are conditioned to seek immediate results, believing that delays signify failure or rejection. But in the realm of the divine, there are no delays, only preparation. What may appear as stagnation or denial is, in fact, the universe aligning all the necessary elements for the perfect manifestation of your desires. Divine timing ensures that you receive what you need, not merely what you want, and that it arrives in the form that will best serve your growth and fulfillment. One of the challenges of embracing divine timing is the uncertainty it brings. The human mind craves certainty, seeking reassurance through plans, schedules, and predictions. But divine timing often operates in the unseen realm, beyond the grasp of logic and reason. It requires you to let go of the need to know how or when your desires will materialize, and to rest in the assurance that the universe is always working on your behalf. This surrender is an act of profound trust, a recognition that the divine plan is infinitely wiser than your own. Patience is a vital companion to trust in divine timing. Patience is not merely waiting, but waiting with grace and confidence. It is the ability to hold on to your vision without wavering, even when there is no visible evidence of progress. Patience allows you to remain aligned with your desires, maintaining a state of faith and gratitude that attracts your desired reality. It is a powerful demonstration of your belief in the inevitability of divine timing, a silent affirmation that everything is unfolding as it should. The beauty of divine timing lies in its precision. When the time is right, doors that once seemed closed will open effortlessly. Opportunities will arise, connections will be made, and circumstances will align in ways that are beyond coincidence. These moments often feel like miracles, a testament to the perfection of divine orchestration. What once seemed impossible suddenly becomes inevitable, as though the universe had been preparing the way all along. Divine timing is not an excuse for inaction. While it teaches us to trust and wait, it also calls us to prepare and align. Just as a gardener tends to the soil while waiting for the seeds to grow, you must nurture your inner world while awaiting the manifestation of your desires. This means cultivating the mindset, habits, and skills that align with the reality you wish to create. It means becoming the person who is ready to receive what you are asking for. Divine timing will bring the opportunities, but it is your responsibility to be prepared to embrace them. Resistance to divine timing often arises from fear of missing out, fear of failure, or fear of being forgotten. These fears stem from a limited perspective, a belief that time is running out, or that life is passing you by. But divine timing operates outside the constraints of human time. It is not bound by clocks or calendars, but flows in accordance with a higher order. Trusting in divine timing means releasing these fears and embracing the eternal nature of life. It is understanding that you are never too late or too early. You are always exactly where you need to be. Gratitude is a powerful tool for aligning with divine timing. When you focus on the blessings already present in your life, you shift your energy from lack to abundance. Gratitude creates a state of receptivity, allowing you to recognize and appreciate the small signs and synchronicities that confirm the universe is working on your behalf. It transforms waiting into a joyful anticipation, a celebration of what is to come. Gratitude reminds you that every moment, even the seemingly mundane or challenging ones, is part of the divine plan. Divine timing also teaches us the value of detours and delays. What may initially seem like obstacles often turn out to be redirections, guiding you toward a path that is more aligned with your purpose. These moments of waiting or rerouting are not punishments but blessings in disguise, offering opportunities for growth, reflection, and refinement. They remind you that the journey is just as important as the destination, and that every step, no matter how small, is part of the greater unfolding. As you align with divine timing, you begin to see life through a new lens. You recognize that every encounter, every experience, and every challenge serves a purpose. You see the interconnectedness of all things and the intricate web of events that leads to your desires. This perspective brings peace, as you no longer feel the need to force or rush, but instead trust in the natural flow of life. Divine timing is a reminder of the infinite wisdom and love that governs the universe. It teaches you to trust, to wait, and to prepare with faith and patience. It shows you that life is not a random series of events, but a beautifully orchestrated masterpiece, unfolding in perfect harmony with your highest good. When you embrace divine timing, you step into a state of alignment, allowing miracles to flow effortlessly into your life. You discover the peace that comes from knowing that everything is happening exactly as it should, at the exact moment it is meant to. Living in the feeling of fulfillment is a transformative way of experiencing life. It begins with the understanding that the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. What you carry within your emotions, beliefs, and assumptions inevitably manifests in the reality around you. Fulfillment is not something to be chased externally, but rather something to be cultivated within. When you embody the feeling of already having what you desire, you align yourself with its manifestation in the physical world. To live in the feeling of fulfillment, you must first define what fulfillment means to you. It is not a universal standard or a one-size-fits-all concept. Fulfillment is deeply personal, tied to your unique desires, goals, and aspirations. For some, it may mean financial abundance or career success. For others, it could be love, peace, or the joy of living in alignment with their purpose. Understanding what fulfillment looks and feels like for you is the foundation upon which this practice is built. Once you are clear on your vision of fulfillment, the next step is to create the emotional state that corresponds to it. This is not about pretending or forcing feelings, but about genuinely connecting to the emotions that having your desires would evoke. Imagine how you would feel if your dreams were already a reality. Would you feel joy? Gratitude? Peace? These emotions are the keys to unlocking the state of fulfillment. Visualization is a powerful tool to help you step into this feeling. Take time each day to close your eyes and imagine yourself already living your desired life. See the details vividly, hear the sounds, and most importantly, feel the emotions. If it's financial abundance you seek, imagine yourself confidently walking into a bank to deposit a large sum of money, or experiencing the freedom and peace that financial security brings. If it's love, picture yourself sharing meaningful moments with a partner, feeling cherished and adored. The more vividly you can imagine and feel this reality, the more you align yourself with its manifestation. Living in the feeling of fulfillment requires shifting your focus from what is lacking to what is already present or possible. This shift is vital because the human mind is naturally drawn to problems and shortcomings. However, dwelling on lack only reinforces its presence in your life. When you focus on fulfillment, you train your mind to recognize opportunities, blessings, and signs that align with your desires. This shift does not mean ignoring challenges, but choosing to see beyond them, trusting in your ability to overcome and rise above. Gratitude is an essential component of living in fulfillment. When you cultivate gratitude, you affirm the abundance that already exists in your life. Gratitude shifts your energy from a state of wanting to a state of having. It strengthens your connection to the feeling of fulfillment because it reminds you that you are already blessed in countless ways. Make it a habit to express gratitude daily, whether through journaling, meditation, or simple acknowledgement of the good things in your life. As you do, you will notice your emotional state becoming more aligned with fulfillment. Acting as if is another powerful technique. When you act as if your desires are already fulfilled, you send a strong signal to your subconscious mind and the universe that you believe in the reality you are creating. This does not mean pretending or living beyond your means, but embodying the energy and behaviors that align with your desires. For example, if you seek abundance, carry yourself with confidence and generosity. If you desire love, treat yourself and others with the care and respect you would expect in a loving relationship. These actions reinforce the feeling of fulfillment and draw your desires closer. Living in the feeling of fulfillment also requires patience. While the inner state creates the outer reality, the timing of manifestation is not always immediate. The universe operates on its own schedule, aligning circumstances and events in ways that serve your highest good. Impatience can disrupt this process by introducing resistance and doubt. Patience, on the other hand, allows you to remain in alignment, trusting that your desires are on their way. It is a quiet confidence that stems from knowing that what is meant for you cannot miss you. One of the most profound shifts that comes from living in fulfillment is the realization that fulfillment is not conditional. It does not depend on external achievements, possessions, or relationships. Instead, it is a state of being that you can access at any moment. When you realize this, you free yourself from the endless cycle of chasing and grasping. You become anchored in the present, fully engaged in the beauty and abundance of the now. Living in fulfillment transforms not only your inner world but also your outer experience. As you embody the energy of your desires, you become a magnet for their manifestation. People, opportunities, and circumstances begin to align in ways that seem miraculous. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, effortlessly attracting the life you envision. This is not magic, but the natural result of living in harmony with universal laws. Living in the feeling of fulfillment is about embracing your creative power. You are not a passive observer of life, but an active participant in its creation. By aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you desire, you step into your role as a deliberate creator. You begin to experience life not as a series of random events, but as a masterpiece of your own design. The journey of living in fulfillment is one of self-discovery and transformation. It challenges you to look within, to confront your fears and doubts, and to embrace the limitless possibilities that lie within you. As you commit to this practice, you will find that fulfillment is not a destination but a way of being, a state of grace, joy, and abundance that is available to you in every moment. In conclusion, living in the feeling of fulfillment is a profound journey of aligning your inner world with the life you wish to create. It requires clarity, trust, gratitude, and the willingness to release doubt and fear. By embracing the emotions of already having your desires, acting as if they are fulfilled, and patiently trusting the process, you unlock the immense creative power within you. Fulfillment is not something you chase externally, but a state of being you cultivate within. When you embody this state, your outer world naturally transforms to mirror your inner harmony. Opportunities flow, desires manifest, and life becomes a beautiful reflection of your intentionality. Remember, fulfillment is not a destination, but a way of living, a choice to embrace abundance, joy, and gratitude in every moment. Thank you for embarking on this transformative journey of self-discovery and creation. May you continue to live in the feeling of fulfillment and witness the miracles that unfold as a result.
Life is a mirror, reflecting back the reality of our innermost beliefs and convictions. Trust, therefore, is not merely about another person. It is a reflection of how you honor your intuition and guard your spirit. There are those in life who, though cloaked in charm or fine sincerity, carry intentions that could disrupt the harmony of your path. Today, let us uncover 3 types of individuals you should never place your trust in. Trust is a profound reflection of the inner self, a mirror revealing not only the nature of others, but more importantly, the essence of our own beliefs, fears, and expectations. The relationships we nurture, the people we draw into our lives, and the dynamics we experience are not random. They are shaped by the state of our inner world, acting as echoes of our thoughts, emotions, and spiritual alignment. To understand trust, we must first understand ourselves, for the outer world is but a projection of our inner consciousness. Self-trust also requires accountability. We must take ownership of our role in the dynamics we experience. It is easy to blame others for broken trust, but this mindset keeps us in a cycle of victimhood. Instead, ask yourself, what part of my inner world contributed to this situation? Perhaps you ignored your intuition when it warned you of red flags. Perhaps you placed unrealistic expectations on another person, expecting them to fulfill needs that only you can meet. By acknowledging these patterns, you empower yourself to make different choices in the future. Once you cultivate trust within, your external relationships begin to shift. You no longer seek validation from others, for you are rooted in the assurance of your own worth. This self-assuredness acts as a filter, naturally weeding out those who do not resonate with your energy. You will find it easier to discern between those who are authentic and those who are not, for your inner clarity allows you to perceive the truth beyond surface appearances. Trusting others becomes less about their actions and more about your alignment with your intuition. Ultimately, trust is not a static state, but a dynamic process, one that evolves as you evolve. The more you nurture your inner self, the more you will attract relationships that honor and reflect your growth. Trusting others becomes an act of courage and faith, rooted in the knowledge that your inner world is your greatest guide. When you live from this place of inner alignment, trust ceases to be a fragile gamble and transforms into a powerful expression of self-assurance. At its core, discernment is a spiritual skill, rooted in self-awareness and intuition. It begins with the acknowledgement that not everything is as it seems. People, situations, and opportunities often present themselves in ways designed to appeal to our desires, fears, or biases. Without discernment, we risk being swept away by these illusions, making choices that may feel right in the moment but ultimately lead to regret or stagnation. Discernment, however, enables us to pause, reflect, and look beyond the obvious to uncover the underlying reality. To exercise discernment effectively, one must also develop emotional maturity. Our emotions, while vital to the human experience, can cloud our judgment when left unchecked. Fear, anger, or excitement can lead us to perceive things in distorted ways, making it difficult to see situations clearly. By learning to observe our emotions without being controlled by them, we create room for discernment to operate. This does not mean suppressing feelings, but rather understanding their role and allowing them to inform rather than dictate our decisions. Discernment is particularly crucial when it comes to relationship. The people we allow into our lives have a profound impact on our energy, mindset, and overall well-being. Without discernment, we may find ourselves entangled with individuals who drain our spirit, manipulate our emotions, or divert us from our path. These relationships often come disguised as friendships, partnerships, or even love, but their true nature reveals itself over time. Discernment helps us identify these patterns early, enabling us to set boundaries or walk away when necessary. In relationships, discernment teaches us to pay attention to consistency over words. Promises and declarations can be easily made, but it is through actions and patterns of behavior that true intentions are revealed. A discerning heart observes these patterns without judgment or attachment. Seeking alignment rather than perfection, it recognizes that not every connection is meant to last, and that walking away from misaligned relationships is an act of self-respect, not failure. Beyond relationships, discernment plays a vital role in the opportunities we encounter. Life is abundant with possibilities, but not all opportunities are meant for us. Some may seem promising, but ultimately distract from our purpose. Others may require patience and perseverance to reveal their true value. Discernment helps us recognize which doors to walk through and which to let remain closed. It allows us to trust in divine timing, understanding that what is truly meant for us will not pass us by. Cultivating discernment also involves learning from past experiences. Every misstep or mistake offers a lesson in clarity if we are willing to reflect on it. When we approach our past with curiosity rather than judgment, we gain valuable insights into the patterns and choices that have shaped our journey. These lessons become the foundation upon which discernment is built, allowing us to navigate future challenges with greater wisdom and confidence. An essential aspect of discernment is the ability to trust oneself. Discernment is not about
in a world filled with
always
voices
making
and
the right
opinions.
choice. Self-trust
It is about
approaching
life
life
with
with
an
an open mind and a discerning heart,
willing
this
to
trust
explore,
is not
question,
blind faith,
and adapt.
but a deep knowing.
It is a practice
we are
that deepens
equipped
over
to make
time,
decisions
shaped by a
that
willingness
honor
to
our
learn
highest
and grow.
good. The
It
more we
requires
cultivate
silencing
it,
the noise
the more
of doubt
we
and
align with
external
the truth of who
validation
we are,
and tuning
creating
into
a
the
life
still,
that reflects
small
our
voice
highest
within.
aspirations.
When
we trust ourselves,
discernment is a
flows
gift we
naturally,
give ourselves,
guiding us
a
toward
tool
choices
for
that feel
navigating the
aligned and
uncertainties
authentic.
of life with grace and confidence.
Deceivers
It is the
are
quiet
among the
wisdom
most
that
insidious
helps us see
challenges we
clearly,
encounter
choose
in life,
wisely,
and
for their
live
presence
authentically.
often disrupts trust,
When we embrace
harmony,
it fully,
and personal
we
growth.
unlock the power to
They
create
wear
a
masks
life
of charm,
purpose,
sincerity,
harmony,
or
and
competence,
fulfillment,
concealing intentions that can harm those who fall under their influence.
To navigate life effectively, one must recognize the danger of deceivers, not with fear or paranoia, but wisdom and discernment. Their actions, though often covert, leave trails of inconsistency and imbalance, and learning to identify these patterns protects not only your external circumstances, but also your inner peace. A deceiver thrives in the shadows of manipulation, thriving on the ability to distort reality. They often present themselves
One of the
as
most
trustworthy,
challenging aspects
aligning
of
their
dealing with
words
deceivers
with what you
is
want
their
to
ability
hear
to
or
exploit
see.
human vulnerability.
Their strength lies
They
in their
understand the
ability
natural
to
human
project
desire
a
for
facade
connection,
of reliability,
validation,
while quietly
persistence, and
orchestrating
use these
actions that
desires
serve their
to
self-interest.
their advantage.
These individuals may not always
appeal to
intend
your
to cause
emotions,
harm directly,
sympathizing with
but
your
their lack
struggles
of
or sharing
alignment with
fabricated
truth
stories
creates ripple
of their
effects
own
that
hardships to
destabilize
gain
the
your
lives of
trust.
those around them. Once this
When
bond
trust
is formed,
is extended to
they
such a person,
manipulate
it
the
often
relationship
results
to
in
fulfill
confusion,
their goal,
disappointment,
often at your
and,
expense.
in some cases,
This manipulation
profound
can be
loss.
subtle, leaving you questioning your judgment or even doubting your perception of reality. The impact of deception extends beyond the immediate harm caused by the deceiver's actions. It can erode your sense of self-trust, making it difficult to navigate future relationships or opportunities. When deceived, the mind often revisits the situation repeatedly, searching for red flags that were overlooked. This process, while necessary for growth, can also lead to feelings of guilt or shame. You may wonder how you missed the signs or why you allowed the deceiver into your life. These questions, though painful, are essential to rebuilding your inner clarity and fortifying your ability to discern truth in the future. It is important to recognize that the danger of deceivers does not lie solely in their actions, but in the power we give them. Often, we ignore intuitive warnings or rationalize behaviors that feel off because we want to believe in the goodness of others. This is not a flaw, but a reflection of the human inclination toward trust and optimism. However, failing to acknowledge these internal signals can leave us vulnerable to further harm. The key is not to abandon trust altogether, but to refine it, ensuring it is placed in alignment with both logic and intuition. To protect yourself from deceivers, it is vital to cultivate self-awareness. Pay attention to how you feel in someone's presence. Deceivers often leave subtle signs, inconsistencies in their stories, exaggerated claims, or an inability to follow through on promises. While their words may be convincing, their actions often betray their true nature. Observing these patterns without immediately reacting allows you to gather the evidence needed to make informed decisions about whom to trust. Boundaries are another essential tool in safeguarding yourself from deceivers. A person who respects your boundaries demonstrates an understanding of mutual respect and transparency, while a deceiver may push against them or seek to undermine them subtly. Establishing clear boundaries communicates that you value your energy and time, making it more difficult for manipulative individuals to gain control over your life. It is also important to surround yourself with people who value integrity and truth. The company you keep significantly influences your ability to identify and handle deceivers. Honest, transparent relationships create a foundation of trust that makes it easier to recognize when someone's energy feels out of alignment. These connections act as a support system, offering perspective and guidance when you encounter situations that feel unclear. While encountering deceivers can be painful, these experiences also offer valuable lessons. They teach us the importance of listening to our intuition, setting boundaries, and maintaining a commitment to truth. Each instance of deception, when viewed through the lens of growth, becomes an opportunity to strengthen our discernment and resilience. Rather than allowing the actions of deceivers to diminish our trust in humanity, we can use these moments to refine our ability to trust ourselves. The danger of deceivers lies in their potential to derail us from our path. Yet, with awareness and wisdom, their influence can be minimized. By cultivating clarity within ourselves and fostering relationships rooted in authenticity, we create a life that reflects our highest truth. Deceivers, no matter how skilled, cannot disrupt a foundation built on self-trust and discernment. They may appear as obstacles, but in facing and overcoming their presence, we discover the strength to live in alignment with our deepest values.
The double-minded individual is one of the most perplexing and challenging types of people to encounter. Their nature is marked by inconsistency, indecision, and a lack of integrity, often leading to confusion and instability for those who interact with them. These individuals live in a state of internal conflict, torn between two opposing desires, values, or paths. Their words may promise one thing, while their actions reveal another. Their alliances shift with circumstances, making it nearly impossible to rely on them. To beware the double-minded is not merely a cautionary tale about others, but a reminder to examine our own inner coherence and commitment to truth. Double-mindedness often manifests as a lack of commitment to a single course of action. These individuals are frequently swayed by external forces, their decisions driven by fear, convenience, or the approval of others, rather than by a deep-seated sense of purpose. As a result, their actions lack integrity, and they become unreliable, not because they intend harm, but because they lack the inner alignment needed to stand firm in their choices. They promise loyalty but fail to deliver, offer assurances they cannot fulfill, and vacillate when circumstances demand clarity and decisiveness. One of the greatest challenges posed by double-minded people is the emotional toll they can take on those around them. Their inconsistency creates an atmosphere of uncertainty, where trust becomes tenuous and expectations are constantly undermined. In relationships, they may seem committed one moment and distant the next, leaving their partners feeling confused and unmoored. In professional settings, they may agree to tasks or decisions only to reverse course later, creating frustration and inefficiency for their colleagues. Their inability to anchor themselves in a single direction ripples outward, affecting everyone they encounter. The root of double-mindedness often lies in a deeper internal struggle. These individuals are often caught between fear and desire, between the life they aspire to live and the insecurities that hold them back. They may lack the courage to make definitive choices, fearing the consequences of commitment or the discomfort of leaving behind other possibilities. This internal division is mirrored in their external behavior as they oscillate between conflicting goals or priorities. Understanding this internal conflict can help us approach double-minded individuals with compassion, even as we remain vigilant to the impact of their behavior. For those who seek to build lives of stability and purpose, recognizing double-mindedness in others and within ourselves is essential. Interacting with double-minded individuals requires discernment and clear boundaries. While it is tempting to try to help or fix them, it is crucial to remember that their internal conflict is theirs to resolve. We cannot force someone to choose alignment or integrity. That is a personal journey each individual must undertake. However, we can protect ourselves by setting firm boundaries and refusing to be drawn into their cycles of indecision and inconsistency. The greatest danger of engaging with double-minded individuals is the risk of being drawn into their instability. Their shifting loyalties or priorities can create confusion, leading us to question our own decisions or values. To counteract this, we must cultivate a strong sense of self-awareness and clarity about our own goals and principles. When we are anchored in our truth, the wavering nature of others has less power to destabilize us. This requires a commitment to regular introspection and a willingness to confront any areas where we too may be harboring double-minded tendencies. Indeed, the phenomenon of double-mindedness is not confined to others. It exists within all of us to some degree. Moments of indecision, conflicting desires, or hesitation are part of the human experience. However, the key to overcoming double-mindedness is recognizing these tendencies within ourselves and addressing them with honesty and courage. This process begins with aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions with a clear sense of purpose. When we live in coherence, our decisions flow naturally from our values, and our lives become a reflection of our deepest truths. To move beyond double-mindedness, both in ourselves and in how we relate to others, we must cultivate the discipline of commitment. This involves making deliberate choices and standing by them, even when faced with challenges or temptations. It means trusting in our ability to navigate the consequences of our decisions and embracing the growth that comes from taking responsibility for our actions. When we embody this clarity and integrity, we inspire others to do the same. To beware the double-minded is to honor the value of consistency and alignment in all areas of life. It is a call to surround ourselves with people who reflect these qualities and to embody them in our own actions. By doing so, we create relationships, environments, and experiences that are rooted in trust and authenticity. The double-minded may continue to exist, but their influence diminishes in the presence of those who have chosen the path of clarity, integrity, and unwavering commitment to truth. Manipulators are a subtle yet potent force in our lives, weaving webs of influence that often go unnoticed until the damage has been done. They operate with a keen understanding of human nature, exploiting vulnerabilities and bending situations to serve their interests. The essence of manipulation lies in control, not the overt control of physical force, but the covert control of emotions, perceptions, and decisions. These individuals can distort reality, create illusions of trust, and wield power in ways that undermine autonomy and peace. To recognize and guard against manipulators is essential for preserving personal integrity and freedom. Manipulators often present themselves as allies, cloaking their intentions in the guise of helpfulness, concern, or charm. They are adept at reading people, identifying what drives them, and tailoring their approach to tap into these motivations. Whether it's offering unsolicited advice, playing the role of a confidant, or presenting themselves as indispensable, manipulators position themselves as people you can rely on. This makes it easy to overlook their ulterior motives, as they skillfully mask their actions under layers of apparent goodwill. One of the hallmarks of manipulation is the creation of imbalance. Manipulators thrive on making others feel indebted to them. They may do favors that seem altruistic but come with unspoken expectations. Over time, this creates a dynamic where the recipient feels compelled to reciprocate, often in ways that go beyond fairness or comfort. This imbalance is not always material, it can also manifest emotionally, with manipulators cultivating feelings of guilt or obligation to maintain their hold. Emotional manipulation is particularly insidious as it operates on the unseen terrain of the heart and mind. Manipulators may use tactics like gaslighting, where they distort facts or deny events to make their victims question their perception of reality. They may feign vulnerability, using their supposed hardships to elicit sympathy and gain leverage. Alternatively, they may subtly criticize or demean, eroding self-esteem to make others more pliable. These techniques are designed to destabilize, creating a sense of dependency that allows manipulators to assert their influence. Another common strategy is the use of flattery and validation. Manipulators know how to make others feel special, praising their abilities or qualities in ways that disarm skepticism. While genuine compliments are natural in healthy relationships, the manipulator's praise is calculated, serving as a tool to lower defenses and establish rapport. Once trust is gained, they leverage it to achieve their goals, often at the expense of the very person they've charmed. The danger of manipulators lies not only in their actions but also in their ability to make you complicit in your own manipulation. They plant seeds of doubt, fear, or desire, subtly guiding your choices while making you believe the decisions are entirely your own. This erosion of autonomy can leave you feeling powerless, questioning your judgment, and struggling to reclaim control over your life. The emotional toll can be significant, leading to feelings of confusion, frustration, and even betrayal when their true nature is revealed. Recognizing manipulators requires vigilance and self-awareness. Pay attention to how you feel after interacting with someone. If you consistently feel drained, obligated, or unsure of yourself, these may be signs of manipulation. Observe patterns in their behavior. Do they seem overly agreeable or helpful, only to later ask for something in return? Do they frequently shift the narrative to make themselves appear as victims or heroes? These are red flags that merit closer examination. Setting boundaries is one of the most effective ways to protect yourself from manipulators. Clearly defining what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior communicates that you value your autonomy and are unwilling to compromise it. Manipulators often test boundaries, so it's crucial to enforce them consistently and without apology. This might mean saying no to requests, limiting your engagement with them, or addressing manipulative behavior directly. While this can be uncomfortable, it is a necessary step in reclaiming control over your interactions. It is also important to cultivate relationships that are rooted in mutual respect and authenticity. Surround yourself with people who value your well-being as much as their own, who encourage your independence rather than seeking to control it. These connections act as a safeguard, providing a counterbalance to the influence of manipulators and reinforcing your ability to trust and assert yourself. Manipulators are a part of the human experience, but their power is not insurmountable. By developing awareness, setting boundaries, and fostering genuine relationships, you can minimize their impact on your life. Moreover, each encounter with a manipulator offers an opportunity for growth, teaching you to trust your instincts, value your autonomy, and stand firm in your truth. Though their actions may be unsettling, manipulators ultimately serve as reminders of the importance of clarity, integrity, and self-respect in navigating the complexities of human interaction. The greatest defense against manipulation is a strong sense of self. When you know your values, trust your intuition, and remain steadfast in your boundaries, you become impervious to the subtle machinations of those who seek to control. Manipulators may attempt to sway you, but their efforts will falter in the face of your unwavering commitment to live authentically and independently. In a world saturated with words, promises, reassurances, opinions, and advice, it is easy to lose sight of a fundamental truth. Intuition often speaks more clearly and truthfully than the most eloquent speech. Words can be manipulated, shaped to serve purposes beyond their surface meanings, but intuition, that quiet voice within, is rooted in a deeper understanding. It bypasses the rational mind, tapping into an unseen reservoir of wisdom that senses the essence of situations and people. Trusting your intuition over words is not just a skill but a safeguard for navigating life with clarity, confidence, and authenticity. Words have power. They can uplift, inspire, and motivate. Yet they can also deceive, mislead, and mask hidden intentions. A skilled speaker can weave narratives that seem impeccable on the surface while subtly serving their own agendas. Politicians, marketers, and even those close to us may use words to sway us in directions we might not otherwise choose. In such moments, relying solely on words can lead us astray, away from our true desires and well-being. This is where intuition becomes indispensable, a quiet guide that operates beyond the reach of verbal persuasion. Intuition often speaks through subtle cues, gut feelings, a sense of unease, or an inexplicable pull toward or away from something. It is not loud or demanding but persistent, waiting for us to pay attention. Unlike words, which can be carefully constructed to appeal to logic or emotion, intuition emerges from a deeper awareness that processes information beyond our conscious understanding. It connects patterns, discerns energy, and detects incongruences that might escape the rational mind. Consider a moment when someone's words didn't match their energy. Perhaps they assured you of their loyalty, but something about their tone, body language, or even the timing of their statement made you feel otherwise. That discomfort was your intuition alerting you to a misalignment between what was being said and the truth. Similarly, there are moments when intuition draws you toward opportunities or people, even when logic cannot immediately explain why. These instances highlight the profound wisdom of intuition, which perceives truth words may obscure. Trusting intuition over words requires a willingness to slow down and listen. Modern life often pulls us outward, demanding constant engagement with external stimuli, social media, conversations, responsibilities. Amid this noise, the quiet voice of intuition can be drowned out. Cultivating a relationship with your intuition means creating space for reflection and connection with your inner self. Practices such as meditation, journaling, or spending time in nature can help you attune to this inner wisdom. The more you listen to it, the more clearly it will guide you. Fear and doubt are common obstacles to trusting intuition. The rational mind, accustomed to relying on evidence and logic, may resist the seemingly abstract nature of intuitive insights. Fear of being wrong, of taking risks, or of going against the grain can also suppress intuitive guidance. However, intuition is not about certainty, it is about alignment. It nudges you toward what feels true, even if the path ahead is unclear. Overcoming these fears requires trust in your inner voice and a willingness to act on its guidance, even when it defies conventional reasoning. To prioritize intuition over words, it is essential to observe and question the motivations behind what is being said. Words are often colored by the speaker's desires, insecurities, or intentions. When someone's words provoke strong emotions, whether excitement, fear, or urgency, pause and ask yourself whether their message resonates with your inner truth. Notice how your body responds to their words. Intuition often communicates through physical sensations, such as a tightness in your chest, a flutter in your stomach, or a sense of calm clarity. These signals can offer valuable insights into whether to trust or question what is being said. Relationships provide fertile ground for learning to trust intuition. Whether in friendships, romantic partnerships, or professional connections, the alignment between words and actions is key. Someone's repeated assurances of care or reliability may lose meaning if their behavior consistently contradicts their promises. Intuition will often sense these discrepancies long before the mind acknowledges them. Similarly, when someone's actions align with their words, your intuition may signal trustworthiness, even if external circumstances seem uncertain. Intuition also serves as a compass for self-guidance. While external voices may offer advice or criticism, your intuition reflects your unique journey and values. It helps you distinguish between paths that align with your purpose and those that do not. When faced with decisions, especially significant ones. Tuning into intuition can provide clarity that transcends the limitations of logic. It encourages you to honor your authentic desires, even when they challenge societal expectations or norms. Following intuition over words is a practice of deep self-trust. It requires you to believe in your capacity to discern truth, even when it defies conventional wisdom or external validation. It is not a rejection of words or logic, but an acknowledgement that they are only part of the equation. By listening to intuition, you reclaim your power to navigate life authentically, grounded in an inner wisdom that is uniquely yours. In this alignment with self, you find clarity, strength, and the freedom to live in harmony with your deepest truths. In conclusion, trust is a sacred cornerstone of our relationships and our journey through life. It is not something to be given lightly, for the wrong choices can lead to pain and confusion. By sharpening our discernment, recognizing the dangers of deceivers, manipulators, and the double-minded, and prioritizing intuition over words, we arm ourselves with the clarity and strength to build a life rooted in authenticity and peace. Trust begins with understanding yourself, listening to the quiet voice within, and honoring the boundaries that protect your integrity. When you align with your inner truth, you will naturally attract the people and circumstances that reflect your values and aspirations. Thank you for taking the time to reflect on this journey of discernment and self-awareness. May you walk forward with confidence, trusting wisely and living fully. You walk into a room. Without uttering a single word, people turn their heads. They don't know why, but something about you caught their attention. They feel something, and that something is the energy you radiate. You are not just a body moving through time and space. You are a being of energy, vibrating with a unique frequency that extends far beyond your physical form. Every cell, every thought, every emotion you experience is part of an intricate dance of energy that is constantly interacting with the world around you. Your presence, even when you remain silent, emanates a powerful energy that others can feel, even if they cannot always explain it. This is the fundamental truth: you are energy. When you begin to understand that you are energy, everything changes. You realize that what you feel on the inside, your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, creates the energy that you radiate outward. Every single moment, whether you are aware of it or not, you are broadcasting a signal to the universe and to those around you. This energy is a reflection of your inner world, and it is this energy that attracts people, opportunities, and circumstances into your life. You are constantly transmitting your frequency, and the world around you is responding to it. Think about it. You can walk into a room and instantly sense the atmosphere. You may not know exactly why, but you can feel if the energy is warm, welcoming, tense, or heavy. This is because you too are a sensitive being, and your energy interacts with the energy around you. It's an exchange that is constantly happening, whether you are consciously aware of it or not. The people you encounter, the spaces you enter, are all influenced by the energy you bring with you. You are never disconnected from the flow of energy in your surroundings. You are always part of it. When you understand that you are energy, you also begin to realize that you have control over the frequency you emit. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, contributes to the vibration you send out into the world. If you walk around with negative thoughts and heavy emotions, that energy becomes your reality. People around you will feel it, whether they consciously realize it or not. You may find that you attract negativity, conflict, or difficulty because your energy is aligned with those experiences. But when you choose to cultivate positive thoughts, to focus on love, peace, and gratitude, your energy shifts. It becomes lighter, brighter, and more expansive. You begin to attract people, opportunities, and situations that match the high frequency you are now radiating. The more you focus on uplifting thoughts and positive emotions, the more you align with the highest energy available to you. The people around you will sense this transformation, and consciously or unconsciously, they will be drawn to your energy. Your energy does not only affect those around you, it also affects you. The way you feel about yourself directly impacts the way you perceive the world. If you are filled with self-doubt, fear, or insecurity, your energy will reflect that, and the world will mirror those feelings back to you. But when you embrace a sense of self-worth, confidence, and peace, your energy shifts and you begin to see a world that is more supportive, loving, and abundant. Your perception changes, and so does your experience. The energy you project is what shapes the reality you live in. One of the most powerful things you can do is take responsibility for the energy you carry. You must become aware of the thoughts and feelings that influence your energy. When you become conscious of what you are thinking and feeling, you can make intentional choices about how you want to feel and what kind of energy you want to radiate. You are not at the mercy of your emotions or circumstances. You have the ability to change your energy, and when you do, you change everything around you. When you align with the energy of love, abundance, and gratitude, you create an atmosphere that others cannot help but be drawn to. You become magnetic, not because of your appearance or your words, but because of the energy you carry. Your energy speaks louder than anything you could ever say. People pick up on your vibration, and it influences how they respond to you. They may feel inspired, uplifted, or at ease just by being in your presence. The truth is, energy is contagious. When you are filled with positive energy, others can feel it and are naturally influenced by it. You have the power to shape your energy at any moment. No matter what is happening in the world around you, you can choose to shift your focus and change your inner state. By doing so, you raise your energy, and when you raise your energy, you raise your energy, you raise your entire life. The world will begin to reflect back the energy you emit, bringing you closer to your desires, your goals, and your dreams. It all begins with the awareness that you are energy. Your energy is not just a passive force, it is a creative power. It shapes your world and the world of those around you. When you choose to master your energy, you become the master of your reality. Your energy creates your experience, and in this truth lies the power to create a life that aligns with your deepest desires and truest self. You are energy, and that energy is everything. Your inner state is far more than just a collection of thoughts or fleeting emotions. It is the most powerful force in shaping the life you experience. It is the magnetic force that attracts everything you encounter in your world: people, circumstances, opportunities, and challenges. It's important to understand that your inner state, the way you feel, the emotional state you occupy, is like a magnet. Whatever you feel deeply on the inside, you draw towards you on the outside. The power of your inner state begins with the realization that your thoughts and emotions are not just passing states, they are creating your reality. The way you feel about yourself, your life, and the world around you sends out a signal to the universe. This signal acts like a magnetic force that pulls corresponding experiences and people toward you. When you are filled with fear, doubt, or worry, you are essentially broadcasting a frequency that resonates with more of the same energy. The universe, being responsive to the energy you send out, brings you experiences that match that vibration. You will find yourself attracting situations that reflect your inner state of unease, struggle, or limitation. On the other hand, when you cultivate an inner state of peace, love, joy, and confidence, you become a magnet for these positive experiences. The more you align your thoughts and emotions with the higher frequencies of gratitude, love, and abundance, the more you draw these experiences into your life. Just like a magnet pulls metal towards it, your inner state attracts people, circumstances, and opportunities that mirror the energy you are embodying. This is the universal law of attraction in its simplest form. What you feel, you attract. The most important aspect of this is that you are always emitting energy, whether you are consciously aware of it or not. If you are unaware of the emotional state you are operating from, you might find yourself unintentionally attracting situations that don't align with your desires. This is why awareness of your inner state is so crucial. By becoming conscious of how you feel, you gain the power to change it. If you don't like what you are attracting, take a moment to check in with your feelings. Are you feeling frustrated, hopeless, or stressed? These emotions are sending out a message to the universe, and that message is being reflected back to you in the form of challenging experiences. But you can change that. When you begin to focus on positive thoughts and emotions, you shift your inner state. When you choose to feel gratitude, even for the small things, you elevate your vibration. When you choose to feel abundant, even if your circumstances do not appear to be abundant, you begin to shift the energy you are sending out. The more you practice this, the more you will begin to notice changes in your life. You will start to see how opportunities begin to open up, how people treat you differently, and how the universe seems to bring more of what you want into your life. What's more, your inner state is contagious. The energy you carry influences others around you. If you are radiating calm, positivity, and confidence, people around you can feel it, even if they don't consciously recognize it. They are drawn to you because your energy resonates with them. You have the power to uplift those around you simply by maintaining a positive inner state. People often become inspired or feel at ease simply by being in your presence, because they are subconsciously responding to the energy you are putting out. In this way, your inner state doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone and everything in your life. It's like casting a stone into a pond. Your inner state creates ripples that touch everyone and everything around you. When you shift your energy, you also shift the dynamics of your relationships, your work, your finances, and your health. Positive energy attracts positive people, positive experiences, and positive circumstances. Negative energy, on the other hand, will pull negativity towards you. It's essential to realize that you have the power to direct your energy. You are not a victim of your circumstances, and you are not at the mercy of your emotions. When you become aware of your inner state, you take back control. You can consciously choose how you want to feel. By doing this, you are shaping the reality you experience. You are no longer simply reacting to life, you are actively creating it. So remember this, your inner state is a magnet. Whatever you feel deeply is what you attract. By learning to align your thoughts and emotions with the energy you wish to attract, you become the architect of your life. Take control of your inner state and watch as your world begins to shift in ways you may never have imagined. The energy you emit is the world you create, and when you master that energy, you master your destiny. Energy speaks louder than words, because it is the unspoken language of the universe. While words can convey meaning, energy communicates the true essence of what we are feeling, thinking, and experiencing. Every individual carries a unique energy, and this energy flows outward, impacting everything around them. Words can sometimes be deceptive or limited, but energy is authentic and undeniable. It reveals truths about us that words often cannot express or may try to hide. When you walk into a room, your energy enters first, long before you say a word. People may not consciously know what it is, but they can feel it. The way you carry yourself, the subtle vibration you emanate, is felt by everyone in your presence. Whether you are aware of it or not, your energy is constantly broadcasting your inner state to the world. It speaks volumes, and it speaks truthfully. It doesn't need words to make an impact, it just is. When we communicate, words are often the least important aspect of the conversation. The underlying energy, the emotional tone that accompanies the words is what truly matters. Think about a time when someone said something that appeared kind, but you sensed something wasn't right. Maybe their words were reassuring, but their energy conveyed something different, maybe fear, insecurity, or manipulation. You may not have been able to articulate it at the time, but on a deeper level, you recognize that the energy didn't align with the words. That is because energy is the true communicator. It is raw, unfiltered, and powerful. It cannot be hidden behind a mask or altered with words. The power of energy also lies in its ability to create connection without the need for verbal communication. Consider a deep friendship or a relationship where no words are necessary to understand each other. There's a knowing, a connection that goes beyond words. You can feel each other's energy, and this deep connection is often more profound than anything words could express. You intuitively understand how the other person is feeling because their energy speaks louder than what they say. This is why it's essential to be mindful of your inner state and the energy you project. Your energy shapes your world more powerfully than your words ever will. If you are constantly focused on negative thoughts, self-doubt, or fear, your energy will reflect that, and you will find yourself encountering more of the same. But when you choose to shift your energy to one of gratitude, love, and abundance, you begin to see your reality shift accordingly. People begin to respond to you differently, opportunities arise, and life starts to feel lighter and more aligned with your desires. The energy you bring to any situation is the most significant contribution you make. Whether in a conversation, a meeting, or a gathering, your energy is the driving force behind the interaction. It sets the tone, creates the atmosphere, and influences how others feel and behave. Words are important, but energy is the foundation. It is the silent language that communicates the most powerful truths, the most authentic expressions of who we are. You control the frequency you radiate, and that frequency shapes everything around you. Think of yourself as a transmitter, constantly emitting a signal into the universe. This signal is the energy you carry within your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and attitudes. Every thought you think, every feeling you experience, and every belief you hold is a part of the frequency you are sending out. This frequency, much like a radio signal, interacts with the world, drawing experiences, people, and circumstances into your life that match the vibration you're emitting. Many people are unaware that they are constantly radiating a frequency. Most of the time, they are simply responding to external stimuli, letting their emotions and thoughts be governed by the circumstances around them. However, this external influence doesn't have to control you. In fact, you have the power to choose the frequency you emit. Your inner state is like a dial on a radio, and you can adjust it at any time to tune into the frequency that aligns with your desires and intentions. The first step in taking control of the frequency you radiate is awareness. You must be conscious of how you feel and the thoughts that dominate your mind. Are they positive, uplifting, and aligned with your desires? Or are they negative, fear-based, and focused on lack or limitation? Every thought and feeling you entertain affects your frequency, so it's crucial to be mindful of what you're thinking and how you're feeling. When you focus on gratitude, love, abundance, and positivity, you raise your frequency. Conversely, when you dwell on fear, worry, frustration, or doubt, you lower your vibration. The beauty of this is that you have the power to shift your frequency at any moment. You are not a passive recipient of the world's energy, you are an active creator of your own reality. If you find yourself feeling negative or low, you can change the channel. Begin by focusing on something that brings you joy, something you are grateful for, or something that makes you feel loved and appreciated. Shift your thoughts and emotions in the direction of what you want, rather than what you fear or what is currently lacking in your life. As you adjust your frequency, you will begin to notice that the world around you starts to reflect this new energy. People will respond to you differently, situations will shift, and new opportunities will start to appear. It's also important to understand that your frequency is not just about your thoughts and feelings, it's also about your beliefs. Your beliefs are the core programming that influences your thoughts and emotions, and they ultimately shape your reality. If you believe that you are worthy of success, love, and abundance, you will radiate a frequency that attracts those things into your life. However, if you believe that you are unworthy, incapable, or undeserving, your frequency will align with those beliefs, and you will experience situations that reinforce them. This is why it's so essential to work on your self-belief and to reprogram any limiting beliefs that are keeping your frequency low. One powerful way to change your frequency is through the practice of visualization. When you imagine yourself living the life you desire, feeling the emotions of already having what you want, you align your inner state with the energy of your desires. Visualization helps you tune your frequency to the vibration of the life you want to create. As you visualize, you're not just thinking about your desires, you are feeling the emotions as if they are already real. This emotional charge sends out a powerful signal to the universe, telling it what you want to attract. Another way to control your frequency is through affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat to yourself, aligning your thoughts and feelings with the frequency of what you want. When you say things like, "I am worthy of love and abundance," or "I attract positive opportunities into my life," you are consciously choosing a frequency of abundance and positivity. The more you repeat these affirmations, the more your thoughts and beliefs shift, and the higher your vibration becomes. Your frequency also impacts the people and situations you attract. Like attracts like, so if you are radiating a high frequency of joy, love, and abundance, you will attract people and experiences that match that energy. Conversely, if you are stuck in a low frequency of fear, doubt, or negativity, you will attract situations and people that reinforce those feelings. By taking control of your frequency, you take control of the people and circumstances that enter your life. This is why it's so important to surround yourself with people who lift you up and inspire you. Their positive energy will help to elevate your frequency, and in turn, you will attract even more positivity into your life. The frequency you radiate is also tied to your self-worth. When you recognize that you are worthy of all the good things life has to offer, your frequency naturally rises. You stop settling for less, and you start attracting more of what you truly desire. On the other hand, if you struggle with self-doubt or feelings of unworthiness, you will unconsciously project that energy into the world, attracting experiences that reinforce those beliefs. Your worthiness is reflected in the frequency you send out, and when you raise that frequency, you raise your worthiness and your capacity to receive. Controlling the frequency you radiate is one of the most powerful tools you have for creating the life you desire. You are not a victim of your circumstances, you are the creator of your reality. By consciously choosing to radiate a higher frequency, you open yourself up to greater possibilities, deeper connections, and more fulfilling experiences. The world around you will begin to mirror the energy you send out, and you will see that your external reality is simply a reflection of your inner state. Take control of your frequency, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. What you hold in mind is what you broadcast to the world. Every thought, feeling, and belief that occupies your mind sends out a signal, creating a vibration that resonates with the universe. This is not just a theoretical concept, it is a fundamental truth that governs your life. Whether you are aware of it or not, you are constantly transmitting your inner world, and the energy you send out influences the circumstances, people, and experiences you attract. The universe responds to your thoughts and feelings, matching them with similar energy. Your mind is incredibly powerful. It shapes your perception of the world and determines the way you experience reality. When you focus on positive, empowering thoughts, you broadcast a frequency of abundance, success, and joy. Conversely, when you dwell on negativity, fear, or self-doubt, you send out a frequency of lack, struggle, and frustration. This energetic broadcast is not limited to your conscious thoughts, it includes your subconscious mind as well, which plays a significant role in what you attract into your life. When you focus on what you want, rather than what you don't want, you are more likely to attract it. The key is to hold the image of your desires firmly in your mind, and to feel the emotions associated with them. Visualization is a powerful tool for this. When you visualize yourself already living the life you desire, you align your thoughts and emotions with that reality. You start to emit the frequency of your desired outcome, sending a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive it. This not only shifts your mindset, but it also alters the energy you radiate, which in turn attracts the people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with your desires. But it's not just about wishing for something and hoping it will appear. You must embody the vibration of what you want. If you want love, for example, you must hold the thought of love in your mind and feel the emotions of love. If you want abundance, you must think abundantly and feel abundant. This is where the power of emotions comes in. Your feelings are the fuel that amplifies your thoughts. When you think positively but feel negatively, you are sending mixed signals which can confuse the universe and delay your manifestation. The alignment between your thoughts and feelings is crucial in broadcasting the right signal. One of the most powerful ways to ensure that you are broadcasting the frequency of what you want is to practice mindfulness. Pay attention to your thoughts and notice when they shift toward negativity or doubt. If you find yourself thinking about what you don't want or fearing the worst, consciously redirect your thoughts to what you do want. Replace worry with trust, fear with confidence, and lack with abundance. By doing so, you take control of the frequency you are broadcasting, ensuring that it aligns with your desires. Your subconscious mind also plays a pivotal role in what you broadcast. While your conscious mind is the thinking mind, the subconscious is the emotional mind, and it governs much of your behavior, beliefs, and reactions. If your subconscious mind is programmed with limiting beliefs or negative thought patterns, it can sabotage your efforts to create the life you desire. This is why it's important to reprogram your subconscious by consistently feeding it with positive affirmations, visualizations, and empowering beliefs. As you shift your subconscious programming, you begin to broadcast a different energy, one that aligns with your true desires and purpose. Another important aspect of broadcasting the right energy is the law of attraction. This universal law states that like attracts like. In other words, the energy you put out into the world will attract similar energy back to you. If you are constantly holding thoughts of gratitude, abundance, and love in your mind, you will attract more of those things into your life. On the other hand, if you focus on fear, lack, or negativity, you will attract experiences that mirror those feelings. The law of attraction works whether you are aware of it or not, so it's crucial to be mindful of what you are thinking and feeling at all times. It's important to note that what you hold in mind is not just about the things you consciously think about. Your habitual thoughts and feelings are just as important. If you constantly worry about money, for instance, you are broadcasting a frequency of lack. If you frequently think about your past mistakes or failures, you are broadcasting a frequency of regret and limitation. These subconscious thought patterns can unknowingly keep you stuck in a cycle of attracting more of what you don't want. That's why it's essential to become aware of your habitual thoughts and to replace them with thoughts that are aligned with your desired reality. In addition to your thoughts and feelings, your actions also play a role in what you broadcast. Actions are a reflection of your inner state and reinforce the frequency you are sending out. When you take inspired action toward your goals, you are reinforcing your commitment to manifesting your desires. This action, coupled with the right thoughts and feelings, amplifies the signal you are broadcasting, making it more likely that the universe will respond with the people, resources, and opportunities that align with your vision. What you hold in mind is what you broadcast because your mind creates your reality. The thoughts and emotions you focus on are like a magnet, drawing experiences into your life that match your frequency. If you want to create a life filled with love, success, and abundance, you must focus on those things in your mind. You must cultivate the feelings of already having them, and you must take inspired action to bring them into your life. By consciously choosing the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that align with your desires, you are broadcasting the frequency of your dreams. The universe will respond by bringing you closer to what you are radiating. Energy is contagious, and it spreads far beyond our conscious awareness. It is a force that flows from one person to another, shaping interactions, environments, and experiences. You may not realize it, but the energy you carry within you affects everyone around you. Whether you are aware of it or not, your emotional state, thoughts, and energy radiate out and influence the people you encounter. Likewise, the energy of others can impact you, affecting your mood, thoughts, and actions. This is why it is so important to be mindful of the energy you surround yourself with, and to consciously choose the energy you project. The energy you emit is not limited to just your thoughts and feelings. It encompasses your entire being, your body language, your tone of voice, your presence, and even your unspoken intentions. When you enter a room, the energy you bring with you can either uplift or drain the people around you. A person who exudes positivity, warmth, and enthusiasm naturally attracts others who resonate with that energy. On the other hand, someone who radiates negativity, frustration, or anger can create tension and discomfort in those nearby. This is why it's often said that energy speaks louder than words. The energy you carry communicates far more than your words ever could, influencing how people respond to you and how situations unfold. Your energy is contagious because it operates on a subconscious level. People are highly sensitive to the energy of others, even if they don't consciously recognize it. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt the mood shift, even though no one said anything? Or have you ever been around someone who, no matter how quiet they are, makes you feel either energized or drained. That's the power of energy at work. It's not just the spoken words or the actions, it's the underlying energy that permeates everything. This is especially true in relationships. Whether in friendships, family dynamics, or romantic partnerships, the energy you bring to the relationship will determine its nature and direction. If you constantly project love, understanding, and positive energy, you create an environment where those qualities can thrive. Conversely, if you bring negativity, resentment, or hostility into the relationship, you invite conflict, disconnection, and tension. Energy in relationships is like a dance. One person's energy can influence the others, and the exchange of energy can either enhance or diminish the connection. The contagious nature of energy also extends to the workplace and other social environments. In a team setting, for example, the energy of one person can lift the entire group, boosting morale, creativity, and productivity. And when one individual brings enthusiasm, optimism, and drive to a project, it has a ripple effect, motivating others to adopt a similar attitude. On the other hand, negativity or pessimism can drag down the entire team, creating an atmosphere of stagnation or even conflict. This is why it's so important to be aware of the energy you contribute to any environment. Your energy can influence the collective mood and the outcomes of any situation. The contagiousness of energy is also rooted in the concept of vibration. Everything in the universe vibrates at a certain frequency, including human beings. When you are in a positive emotional state, your vibration is high, and you naturally attract others who resonate with that frequency. When you are feeling negative or low, your vibration drops, and you may find that you attract more of the same energy, more negativity, or situations that reinforce those low vibrations. Energy is a frequency, and like attracts like. The energy you emit acts as a magnet, drawing in experiences and people that match your frequency. This is why it is so important to take responsibility for the energy you bring into any situation. It's easy to become a passive recipient of the energy around you, especially when you are exposed to negativity or stress. However, you always have the choice to take control of your energy. You can decide to raise your vibration by focusing on positive thoughts, cultivating feelings of gratitude and love, and engaging in activities that make you feel good. When you consciously choose to raise your energy, you not only improve your own experience, but also influence the energy of those around you in a positive way. One of the most powerful ways to raise your energy is through self-awareness. Pay attention to how you feel in different situations and around different people. Notice when your energy shifts and what triggers those shifts. Are you spending time with people who uplift you, or are you surrounded by individuals who drain your energy? Are you focusing on thoughts and beliefs that support your well-being, or are you letting negativity take hold? By becoming more aware of the energy you are giving and receiving, you can consciously shift your focus and cultivate a higher frequency. It's also essential to protect your energy. Not every situation or person is conducive to your well-being, and sometimes it's necessary to set boundaries in order to preserve your energy. If you find yourself in an environment where negativity is rampant, it's important to either remove yourself or practice energy protection techniques. This could include taking a few moments to center yourself, using visualization to shield yourself from negative energy, or simply leaving a situation that feels draining. Protecting your energy allows you to maintain your own vibration and not be pulled down by the energy of others. The contagious nature of energy is a reminder that we are all interconnected. The energy we give to the world has a ripple effect, touching people and situations in ways we may not even realize. By cultivating positive energy within ourselves and being mindful of how we interact with the world, we can create a more harmonious and uplifting environment for ourselves and others. The energy you radiate matters, and by consciously choosing to spread love, positivity, and kindness, you have the power to transform not only your own life, but the lives of those around you. Master your energy, master your reality. This statement holds a profound truth that governs every aspect of our lives. Energy is the essence of all things, It is the force that drives creation, movement, and transformation. Whether we realize it or not, we are constantly interacting with energy both within ourselves and the world around us. Every thought, emotion, and belief we hold is a form of energy that shapes our reality. By learning to master our energy, we can learn to master the life we experience. At its core, energy is the invisible force that influences everything in the universe. From the smallest particles of matter to the grandest cosmic movements, everything is powered by energy. This includes our thoughts and emotions. Our minds are not separate from the energy around us, they are deeply interconnected. The energy you carry within you has the ability to attract, repel, and shape the circumstances of your life. If you are unaware of this, you may unknowingly be allowing external forces to dictate your reality. But once you understand that you control your energy, you realize that you also control the direction of your life. Energy is not static. It is constantly shifting and changing. This is why your internal state, the way you think and feel, is so powerful. It is like a magnet that draws experiences to you. When you feel positive emotions like love, joy, and gratitude, you align yourself with higher frequencies of energy, which in turn attract experiences that resonate with those emotions. On the other hand, when you allow negative emotions like fear, anger, or frustration to dominate your inner world, you lower your frequency and attract experiences that reflect those lower energies. The reality you experience is a direct reflection of the energy you hold within. To master your energy is to take control of the thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that shape your internal landscape. The first step is awareness. Without awareness, you cannot change anything. You must begin by observing your thoughts and emotions, recognizing when you are operating from a place of fear, scarcity, or negativity. Pay attention to the moments when you feel drained, disconnected, or out of alignment with your true self. These are the moments when your energy is not being directed intentionally, and they are the moments that require your attention. Once you become aware of the energy you are carrying, the next step is to consciously choose the energy you wish to embody. Just as you can choose what to think, you can also choose how to feel. Instead of allowing external circumstances to dictate your emotional state, you have the power to shift your focus and change your energy. This is the foundation of mastering your reality. So, when you choose to feel empowered, abundant, and at peace, you align yourself with the energies of creation and manifestation. You begin to broadcast a frequency that draws to you the experiences, people, and opportunities that match that energy. Mastering your energy also involves taking responsibility for the energy you give to the world. You are constantly emitting energy through your words, actions, and intentions. If you are continually sending out negativity, doubt, or resentment, you are creating a reality where those energies are reflected back to you. However, if you choose to radiate positivity, kindness, and gratitude, you are contributing to the creation of a world filled with those same qualities. The energy you put into the world is never lost, it always returns to you in one form or another. This is the power of the law of attraction, like attracts like. The more you cultivate positive energy within, the more you will attract positive circumstances and people into your life. To truly master your energy, you must also learn to protect it. Life will always present challenges, and there will be people and situations that attempt to drain your energy. It is crucial to recognize when you are being influenced by external negativity and to take steps to safeguard your energy. This can be done through setting healthy boundaries, practicing mindfulness, and engaging in activities that replenish your energy, such as meditation, exercise, or spending time in nature. The more you protect your energy, the more you will be able to maintain a high vibration, even in the face of adversity. Another aspect of mastering your energy is learning to align with your higher self. When you are in alignment with your true essence, your soul's purpose, your inner wisdom, your deepest desires, you are operating at your highest frequency. This alignment allows you to move through life with grace, clarity, and confidence. When you are out of alignment, you feel lost, disconnected, or uncertain. To return to alignment, you must trust in your inner guidance and let go of the fears and doubts that hold you back. Your higher self knows what is best for you, and when you align with it, you step into your power. As you master your energy, you also learn to master your reality. The more you take charge of your internal state, the more control you have over the external circumstances of your life. You begin to realize that you are not a passive observer of life, you are an active creator. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs have the power to shape your reality in ways you may have never imagined. By consciously directing your energy, you can manifest your desires, attract the people and opportunities you need, and create a life that aligns with your deepest aspirations. Mastering your energy is not about controlling every moment or forcing things to happen. It is about cultivating a state of awareness, intention, and alignment with your true self. When you master your energy, you are no longer a victim of circumstances, you are the creator of your experience. Your energy is the key to unlocking the life you desire, and when you learn to master it, you master your reality. In conclusion, mastering your energy is the key to transforming your reality. Everything in your life, your circumstances, relationships, and opportunities are shaped by the energy you emit. By becoming aware of your internal state and consciously choosing the energy you project, you begin to align with your highest potential. Remember, you are not a passive observer of your life, you are the creator. Your energy is powerful, and when you harness it with intention, you unlock the ability to manifest your desires and create a life filled with positivity, abundance, and fulfillment. Thank you for your time and attention. May you step into the power of your energy and use it to shape the reality you desire. Beloved, the path to rebuilding yourself begins within, in the sacred temple of your own mind. Your current life is but a shadow of what you have believed about yourself. If you wish to rise, to rebuild, then you must shift the foundation of your being. Imagination is the most powerful tool you possess, the divine spark within you that shapes and molds the world around you. Everything you see, every experience you encounter, began as an idea in the mind of someone who dared to imagine it. Your imagination is not merely a whimsical daydream or a fleeting escape from reality, it is the very foundation of creation itself. When you harness it, you hold the key to transforming not just your circumstances, but your very identity. To rebuild yourself, you must first acknowledge this truth: your life as it stands today is the result of the images you have consistently entertained in your mind. The life you desire, the strength, the success, the peace already exists within the boundless realm of your imagination. But you must give it form, breathe life into it, and nurture it as though it were a living thing. This is not a passive process, but an act of deliberate creation. Begin by closing your eyes to the world of facts and opening the inner eye of your mind. What do you see? What version of yourself appears before you? If it is not the person you wish to become, then know that you have the power to change it. Picture yourself as the individual you aspire to be, not in some distant future, but right now, in this very moment. See yourself walking with confidence, achieving your goals, radiating joy and fulfillment. The clearer and more vivid this image, the more powerful its effect. Do not simply see this new self, feel it. Imagine what it would feel like to live that life, to embody that version of you. Feel the exhilaration of success, the warmth of love, or the peace of freedom. The feeling is the secret. It is not enough to think about change, you must feel as though it has already occurred. When you do this, your subconscious mind accepts this new reality as truth and begins to align your actions, decisions, and even the circumstances of your life to bring it into being. The beauty of imagination lies in its boundlessness. There are no restrictions, no limitations, except those you impose upon yourself. If you dare to dream boldly, to imagine yourself soaring higher than ever before, then you set the stage for a life beyond your wildest expectations. But if your vision is small and confined, your results will mirror that constraint. Give yourself permission to dream freely, to explore the vast potential within you without fear or doubt. It is crucial to understand that imagination is not just idle fantasy. What you consistently imagine, you eventually become. The mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. This is why you must guard your thoughts and ensure that your mental imagery aligns with the life you desire. when you allow fear, doubt, or negativity to dominate your imagination, you unknowingly create more of the very things you wish to avoid. In moments of solitude, when the world is quiet, take time to dwell in your imagination. This is your sacred space, a sanctuary where you can rehearse the life you wish to live. Let this practice become a daily ritual, a time when you withdraw from the noise of the world and reconnect with your inner vision. The more you do this, the more real your imagined life will feel, and the more effortlessly it will begin to manifest in your external reality. Doubt will undoubtedly creep in, whispering that your imagination is foolish, that reality is fixed, and that change is impossible. Do not listen. Doubt is the enemy of creation, the voice of limitation that seeks to keep you bound to the status quo. Instead, trust in the power of your imagination. Trust that what you see and feel within is more real than the appearances of the outer world. For the outer world is nothing but a reflection of the inner. When you commit to living from your imagination, you step into the role of creator. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstances, but the architect of your destiny. You begin to see that life does not happen to you, it happens through you. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to reshape your vision, every setback a chance to refine your image of the future. It may take time for the outer world to catch up with your inner vision, but do not be discouraged. Seeds do not sprout the moment they are planted, yet beneath the surface they are growing, reaching for the light. Your imagined self is the same. Persist in seeing it, feeling it, and believing in it, even when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. This persistence is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between imagination and reality. As you continue to rebuild yourself through the power of imagination, you will notice subtle shifts. Your thoughts will become more aligned with your vision, your actions will reflect your new identity, and opportunities will arise seemingly out of nowhere. These are not coincidences, but the natural consequences of your inner transformation. So dare to imagine. Dare to see yourself not as you are, but as you wish to be. Dare to dream a life that feels impossible, and then live as though it is already yours. The power to rebuild yourself is already within you, waiting to be unleashed. All it takes is the courage to close your eyes to the world of facts and open them to the infinite possibilities of your imagination. In doing so, you will discover that you are not only capable of rebuilding yourself, but of creating a life that exceeds your wildest dreams. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to step into the experience of your desired life as though it is already yours. It is not a mere exercise of thought, but an act of living internally in the state of your fulfilled desire. This concept is the key to transformation and the essence of true creation. By assuming the feeling, you align your inner world with the reality you wish to experience, allowing it to manifest naturally in the physical world. Creation begins within you. Your life is a reflection of your inner state, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. To change your life, you must first change how you feel about it. Feeling is the language of the subconscious mind, and the subconscious is the engine that drives your experiences. It does not question or rationalize, it simply accepts what you consistently feel as true and works to bring it into your reality. Therefore, to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to plant the seed of your desire deep in the fertile soil of your subconscious. This process requires that you detach from the present circumstances that may seem contrary to your desires. The external world is merely a reflection of your past states of mind. If you allow yourself to be controlled by what you see and hear, you remain bound to the same patterns. Instead, you must cultivate the ability to close your eyes to the world of appearances and open your mind to the vision of your fulfilled desire. When you do this, you are no longer reacting to the world, you are creating it. Imagine, for example, that you desire greater financial abundance. Begin by closing your eyes and picturing yourself living the life you associate with that abundance. See yourself enjoying the freedom, the opportunities, and the security that wealth brings. But do not stop there. Feel it. Feel the sense of relief, the joy, the gratitude, and the confidence that come with having your desire fulfilled. Let these feelings fill you completely until they become as real as the air you breathe. The feeling is the bridge between your current reality and the one you wish to create. It acts as a magnetic force, drawing to you the circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with your new state. When you feel as though your wish is already fulfilled, you are no longer striving or yearning for it. Instead, you are living from it. This shift is subtle but profound. It transforms your relationship with your desire, turning it from something you hope for into something you already possess. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you must train your mind to dwell in the desired state, even when external evidence contradicts it. This requires faith, a deep, unwavering belief in the unseen. Faith is not blind optimism. It is the knowing that what you feel and believe within will inevitably find expression in your life. This faith empowers you to persist, even when doubt arises, or when the world seems unchanged. Doubt is often the greatest obstacle to assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It whispers that your desire is too big, too unrealistic, or too far away. But doubt only has power if you give it attention. When doubt arises, gently return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Remind yourself that the world outside is only a reflection of your inner state. By staying anchored in the feeling, you neutralize doubt and reinforce your new reality. This practice is not about ignoring the present or pretending that challenges do not exist. It is about choosing to focus on the reality you wish to create, rather than being consumed by the one you wish to change. As you persist in assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you will notice a shift. Your thoughts will align with your new state, your actions will reflect your desired reality, and the world around you will begin to change in ways that seem almost magical. One of the most effective ways to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is through visualization. Find a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. Close your eyes and imagine a scene that represents your fulfilled desire. Make it vivid, detailed, and full of life. See the colors, hear the sounds, and most importantly, feel the emotions. For instance, if your desire is to own a home, imagine walking through its rooms, feeling the textures, and basking in the joy of knowing it is yours. Repeat this exercise daily, allowing the feeling to grow stronger with each session. Gratitude is another powerful tool for assuming the feeling. When you feel grateful for your desire as though it has already been fulfilled, you signal to the universe that you trust the process. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, creating a powerful resonance with your desired state. Each day, take a moment to give thanks for the fulfillment of your desire. Feel the gratitude as deeply as you can, and let it flow through every part of your being. This practice requires consistency and discipline. It is not enough to assume the feeling once, and then return to old patterns of thought and emotion. You must persist in living from the state of your fulfilled desire until it becomes second nature. Over time, this new state will solidify and your external world will conform to it. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are not waiting for your desire to appear, you are living as though it already has. This is the essence of true creation, knowing that your inner state shapes your outer world, and that the fulfillment of your desire is inevitable. Trust the process, persist in the feeling, and watch as your life transforms in ways that exceed your imagination. To rebuild yourself, you must first release the old identity, the version of you that no longer serves your higher purpose. This is the foundation of transformation, for you cannot build a new life on the remnants of the past. The person you were, shaped by past beliefs, experiences, and limitations, must dissolve to make way for the person you are becoming. Releasing the old identity is not merely a symbolic act, it is a deliberate process of shedding, unlearning, and letting go of all that keeps you tied to a life that feels too small for your soul. Your identity is a collection of stories you have told yourself, often unconsciously. These stories are formed by experiences, societal expectations, and the influence of others. They dictate how you see yourself, how you act, and what you believe you deserve. But just because these stories have been repeated in your mind does not make them true. They are constructs, and like any construct, they can be dismantled. The first step in releasing the old identity is awareness. You must become aware of the thoughts, patterns, and beliefs that define your current self. What do you say about yourself when no one is listening? What limitations do you accept without question? Perhaps you believe you are not talented enough, not worthy of love, or not capable of achieving your dreams. These beliefs are not truths, they are remnants of a self you are ready to outgrow. Once you are aware of these limiting beliefs, you must confront them. Ask yourself, who told me this? Where did this belief come from? Often you will find that these beliefs were imposed upon you by others, parents, teachers, peers, or born out of painful experiences. But the origins of these beliefs are not as important as recognizing that they are no longer valid. They may have served a purpose in the past, perhaps as a form of protection or survival, but they are no longer aligned with who you wish to become. Releasing the old identity requires a willingness to let go of the familiar, even when the familiar feels safe. It is human nature to cling to what we know, even if it causes us pain, because it provides a sense of certainty. But growth demands that you step into the unknown. You must be willing to face the discomfort of change, trusting that the new identity you are creating is worth the temporary unease. One of the most effective ways to release the old identity is to detach from labels. The labels you wear, good or bad, are part of the old self. Perhaps you have labeled yourself as shy, unworthy, or incapable. Or perhaps you have been labeled by others, accepting their definitions of who you are. These labels are not your essence, they are limitations. Begin to see yourself not as a fixed identity, but as a fluid being, capable of infinite change and reinvention. Forgiveness is another powerful tool in releasing the old identity. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you have made, the opportunities you have missed, and the times you have fallen short of your own expectations. These moments do not define you, they are simply lessons on your journey. Forgive others as well, not for their sake, but for your own. Holding on to resentment ties you to the past and reinforces the old self. Letting go of resentment is an act of liberation, freeing you to step into the fullness of your potential. As you release the old identity, you may encounter resistance not only from within but also from others. People around you may struggle to accept your transformation, clinging to the version of you they have always known. This is natural, but it is not your burden to bear. You are not obligated to remain the same for the comfort of others. True transformation requires courage, and part of that courage is standing firm in your decision to grow, even when others resist. A practical way to reinforce the release of the old identity is to create rituals of letting go. Write down the beliefs, habits, and patterns you wish to leave behind. Be specific. Then, in a symbolic act, destroy the paper, burn it, tear it, or bury it. As you do, declare your intention to release these aspects of yourself. This ritual is a physical representation of an internal shift, helping your mind and spirit align with your decision. Once you have released the old identity, you must replace it with the vision of your new self. Nature abhors a vacuum, and if you do not fill the void left by the old self, you risk slipping back into familiar patterns. Visualize the person you are becoming, how they think, feel, and act. Begin to embody that version of yourself, even in small ways. Each step you take in alignment with your new identity reinforces the transformation. Understand that releasing the old identity is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. There will be moments when old thoughts resurface, or when you feel the pull of past habits. Do not see this as failure, but as an opportunity to reaffirm your commitment to change. With each moment of choice, you strengthen your new self and weaken the hold of the old. Releasing the old identity is an act of self-love. It is a declaration that you are worthy of growth, worthy of change, and worthy of the life you desire. It is a process of peeling away the layers that no longer serve you, revealing the infinite potential that has always been within. Trust this process, for as you let go of who you were, you make space for who you are meant to be, and in that space, miracles happen. Persistence in the new state is the cornerstone of transformation. To step into a new reality, you must remain steadfast in your chosen state of being, regardless of external circumstances or fleeting doubts. The new state, the version of yourself that embodies your desired reality, must become your anchor, your identity, and the place from which you live, think, and act. This is not a passive process, but an active commitment to holding steady in the feeling of your wish fulfilled until it crystallizes into your external world. When you decide to adopt a new state, you are essentially choosing to shift your consciousness. Your current reality is a reflection of your previous states of being, the habitual thoughts, emotions, and beliefs you have entertained. To persist in the new state means to break free from the gravitational pull of the old state, which may still attempt to assert itself. This requires resolve, discipline, and a deep faith in the unseen. The greatest challenge in persisting in the new state is the temptation to revert to the familiar. The old state, with its well-worn patterns and predictable outcomes, can feel comfortable even if it no longer serves you. It may manifest as doubt, fear, or a need for immediate evidence of change. But true transformation requires that you prioritize your inner reality over your outer one. Even when the world around you appears unchanged, you must remain unwavering in your belief that your new state is real and inevitable. Persistence begins with clarity. You must clearly define the new state you wish to embody. Who are you in this state? What does your life look like? How do you feel, think, and behave? The more vividly you can imagine and feel this new state, the easier it becomes to align with it. Clarity is the foundation upon which you build your persistence, as it gives you a specific destination to focus on. Feeling is the key to persistence. It is not enough to think about the new state intellectually, you must feel it emotionally. Feeling creates resonance between your inner world and the reality you desire. So, when you feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, you signal to your subconscious mind that this is your truth. Your subconscious then begins to orchestrate circumstances to align with that truth. This feeling must become a constant companion, a state you return to repeatedly throughout the day. Persistence also requires vigilance. Your mind is a powerful tool, but it can easily drift back into old patterns if left unchecked. Pay attention to your thoughts and emotions, and redirect them when they stray from your desired state. If you find yourself dwelling on doubt or negativity, gently remind yourself of your new reality. Use affirmations, visualization, or moments of stillness to reconnect with the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, and your new state becomes the dominant tone of your inner world. The external world often acts as a mirror of your internal state, but it reflects your past states rather than your present efforts. This can be disheartening if you expect immediate results. Understand that the external world operates with a delay. It takes time for your new state to imprint itself onto physical reality. During this period, it is essential to persist, trusting that the changes you seek are already unfolding behind the scenes. Faith is your ally in this process. Faith is not blind optimism or wishful thinking, it is the deep conviction that your inner reality is more real than the outer appearances. When you persist in the new state with faith, you cultivate a sense of certainty that cannot be shaken by temporary setbacks or lack of evidence. This faith sustains you during moments of doubt and reinforces your commitment to the new state. Another essential aspect of persistence is detachment. While you hold the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you must also release the need to control how and when it manifests. Detachment does not mean indifference, it means trusting the process and allowing the universe to unfold in its own way. Clinging to specific outcomes or timelines only reinforces a state of lack. By letting go of the how, you open yourself to possibilities far greater than what you could have imagined. Persistence in the new state is not about perfection. There will be moments when old habits resurface or when you feel disconnected from your desired reality. Do not see these moments as failures, they are simply opportunities to realign. Every time you choose to return to your new state, you strengthen its hold on your consciousness and weaken the influence of the old. Persistence is a practice, not a one-time decision. As you persist in the new state, you will begin to notice subtle shifts. Your thoughts will align more naturally with your desired reality, your emotions will stabilize in harmony with it, and your actions will flow effortlessly from it. These shifts may start small, but they are powerful indicators that your transformation is taking root. Celebrate these changes, no matter how minor they seem, as they reinforce your faith and commitment. The beauty of persistence is that it transforms not only your external circumstances but also your sense of self. As you consistently live from your new state, it becomes who you are. You no longer have to try to embody, it becomes your natural way of being. This is the point at which your new reality manifests effortlessly as a reflection of your true self. In persisting in the new state, you are engaging in the most profound act of creation. You are not merely waiting for change, you are becoming the change. This requires patience, discipline, and unwavering belief, but the rewards are immeasurable. When you persist, you align yourself with the infinite potential within you, stepping into a life that is not only desired but also deserved. Trust in this process, and you will discover that persistence is the bridge between imagination and reality. Faith in the unseen is the foundation upon which all transformation is built. It is the quiet, unshakable belief in a reality that has not yet materialized, a trust in the intangible forces that shape our lives. This faith is not blind or naive, it is a deliberate choice to align with the deeper truths of existence, where what you hold within your consciousness ultimately defines what you experience in the external world. Faith in the unseen is the bridge between desire and fulfillment, between the imagined and the realized. To possess faith in the unseen is to acknowledge that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. The circumstances you encounter, the relationships you form, and the opportunities that arise are all echoes of your dominant thoughts and feelings. While the outer world appears to be solid and unyielding, it is, in truth, fluid and malleable, shaped by the unseen forces of your imagination and belief. Faith in the unseen means trusting in this process, even when no tangible evidence yet exists to confirm it. One of the greatest challenges in cultivating faith is overcoming the need for immediate proof. The human mind is conditioned to rely on the senses to see, hear, and touch as a way of validating reality. Yet the senses are limited, they perceive only what already exists, not what is possible. Faith requires you to transcend these limitations, to hold fast to a vision of what could be rather than what is. It demands that you trust in the creative power of your thoughts and feelings, knowing that they will eventually manifest in the physical world. Faith in the unseen is not a passive waiting but an active state of being. It is the choice to live as though your desired reality is already true. This means thinking, feeling, and acting in alignment with your vision, even when external circumstances suggest otherwise. For example, if you seek abundance, faith requires you to adopt the mindset of someone who is already abundant, to feel gratitude, generosity, and confidence as though wealth were already yours. If you seek love, faith asks you to embody the qualities of love, kindness, openness, and joy before it appears in your life. Doubt is the greatest enemy of faith. It creeps in when the outer world seems unchanged, whispering that your efforts are in vain and your dreams are unreachable. But doubt is merely a reflection of old patterns and beliefs, remnants of the past that no longer serve you. Faith is the antidote to doubt, a declaration that you trust the unseen forces working on your behalf, even when the evidence is not yet visible. To sustain faith, you must cultivate a deep sense of inner conviction, a knowing that transcends logic and reason. The power of faith lies in its ability to shift your vibration. Everything in the universe operates on frequency, and your thoughts and feelings emit a signal that attracts corresponding experiences. When you maintain faith in the unseen, you align your vibration with your desired reality, creating a resonance that draws it closer. This alignment is subtle but profound, influencing the people, events, and opportunities that come into your life. Faith is the energetic signature of belief, the invisible thread that weaves your desires into existence. Faith in the unseen also requires patience. The unfolding of your desires follows a divine timing that often differs from your own. This timing is not arbitrary but precise, ensuring that what you seek arrives when you are truly ready to receive it. Impatience is a sign of mistrust, an attempt to force or control the process. Faith, on the other hand, is a surrender to the natural flow of creation, a willingness to allow the universe to work in its own perfect way. Trust that the delays you experience are not denials, but preparations for something greater. One of the most profound aspects of faith in the unseen is its transformative effect on the individual. When you choose faith, you step into a higher state of consciousness, one that is free from fear, doubt, and limitation. Faith expands your perception, allowing you to see possibilities where before you saw obstacles. It strengthens your resilience, enabling you to persist in the face of challenges. Most importantly, it reconnects you to the infinite power within you, the power to create, to heal, and to transform. Faith in the unseen is not something you cultivate once and then forget. It is a daily practice, a choice you make moment by moment. Life will test your faith, presenting you with circumstances that seem to contradict your desires. These tests are not meant to discourage you, but to strengthen your resolve. Each time you choose faith over fear, you reinforce your connection to the unseen forces of creation and deepen your trust in the process. To live with faith in the unseen is to live with courage. It is the courage to believe in your own worthiness, to trust in the goodness of life, and to hold fast to your vision, even when the path is unclear. It is the courage to release control, to surrender to a higher intelligence, and to embrace the mystery of the unknown. Faith is not a sign of weakness, but of strength, for it requires you to stand firm in your truth, despite the ever-changing tides of the external world. Faith in the unseen is an act of love for yourself, love for the possibilities of life, and love for the divine force that connects all things. It is a recognition that you are not separate from the source of creation, but an integral part of it. When you hold faith in the unseen, you align with this truth, stepping into the role of a conscious creator. You become a vessel through which miracles can flow, not because you have seen them with your eyes, but because you have believed in them with your heart. Silencing the doubts that arise within your mind is essential for creating the life you desire. Doubts are the voices of fear, insecurity, and past conditioning. They are the echoes of old beliefs that no longer serve you, arising when you dare to imagine a reality beyond what you've known. Yet these doubts hold no true power over you unless you choose to give them your attention and belief. To silence them is not to suppress or ignore them, but to master them, transforming them from obstacles into stepping stones on your journey to fulfillment. Doubt is natural in the process of change. When you set your sights on something new, your mind often clings to the familiar, resisting the unknown. This resistance manifests as doubt, questioning your worthiness, your capabilities, or the likelihood of success. But understand, this doubt is not truth. It is merely a reflection of old patterns and limited perspectives. It arises from a mind conditioned to see only what has already occurred, blind to the infinite possibilities of the present moment. To silence doubt, you must first recognize its nature. Doubt thrives on fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of disappointment. It is a protective mechanism designed to keep you within the boundaries of your comfort zone. While this might seem like self-preservation, it often prevents you from growing, evolving, and experiencing the life you truly desire. By acknowledging doubt for what it is, a habitual response, not an inherent truth, you take the first step toward neutralizing its influence. Your imagination is the antidote to doubt. The mind cannot hold two opposing beliefs at once. When doubt whispers its limitations, you must counter it with the vivid, unwavering vision of your desired reality. Close your eyes and immerse yourself in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Feel the joy, peace, and satisfaction of already having what you seek. This act of imagining is not a mere distraction. It is a deliberate realignment of your focus from what you fear to what you believe is possible. The more you practice this, the weaker doubt becomes, overshadowed by the strength of your vision. Doubt often feeds on evidence from the outer world. When you see no immediate change, or when circumstances seem contrary to your desires, doubt seizes the opportunity to grow. This is why it is crucial to prioritize your inner reality over the outer. Understand that the external world is a lagging indicator, reflecting your previous thoughts and feelings rather than your current intentions. By remaining steadfast in your inner belief, regardless of external appearances, you starve doubt of the validation it craves. Affirmations are a powerful tool for silencing doubt. They serve as declarations of your truth, statements that affirm your desired reality as though it were already here. When doubt arises, repeat affirmations that align with your vision. I am capable. I am worthy. My desires are unfolding perfectly. Speak these words, not as empty phrases, but with conviction, allowing them to resonate deeply within you. Over time, these affirmations reprogram your subconscious mind, replacing doubt with confidence and certainty. Another essential practice in silencing doubt is mindfulness. Doubt often thrives in a mind that is scattered, constantly replaying past failures or worrying about future outcomes. Mindfulness grounds you in the present moment, where doubt has no foothold. Through practices such as meditation or simply taking deep, conscious breaths, you can quiet the mental chatter and reconnect with the stillness within. In this stillness, the voice of doubt fades, revealing the clarity and wisdom of your true self. Action is a potent remedy for doubt. Often, doubt paralyzes you, keeping you from taking the steps necessary to bring your desires to life. But action, no matter how small, builds momentum and reinforces belief. Each step you take toward your goal, even in the face of uncertainty, is a declaration of faith. With every action, you gather evidence of your capability and power, gradually silencing the voice of doubt with the undeniable proof of your progress. It is also important to guard your mental environment. Surround yourself with people, ideas, and influences that uplift and inspire you. Doubt thrives in negativity, feeding on criticism and pessimism. Seek out those who encourage your dreams, who believe in your vision, and who remind you of your potential. Consume content that aligns with the reality you wish to create. Books, speeches, or conversations that reinforce your faith in yourself and the possibilities of life. Compassion for yourself is key in this process. There will be times when doubt feels overwhelming, when it seems to drown out your vision and shake your belief. In these moments, do not berate yourself for feeling uncertain. Instead, treat yourself with kindness and patience, understanding that doubt is part of the journey. Remind yourself that even the most confident individuals face doubt. What sets them apart is their willingness to persist despite it. Trust in the unseen forces that support you. Whether you call it the universe, divine intelligence, or your higher self, know that there is a power greater than doubt at work in your life. This power responds to your faith, your persistence, and your willingness to step beyond fear. When you align with it, doubt loses its grip, overshadowed by the infinite potential that flows through you. Silencing doubt is not about eliminating it entirely. It is about refusing to let it dictate your actions or beliefs. It is about choosing to believe in yourself and your vision, even when the path ahead seems unclear. With each moment of persistence, each act of faith, you weaken the hold of doubt and strengthen your connection to the life you are creating. Doubt may whisper, but your truth can roar louder. Trust in that truth and let it guide you toward the fulfillment of your deepest desires. To act from the future rather than the past is to step into the realm of creation. It is a conscious choice to align yourself with the reality you desire, rather than being tethered to the limitations of what has already occurred. Most people live their lives reacting to their past. Old memories, mistakes, and beliefs dictate their present actions and decisions. Yet the power to transform your life lies in recognizing that you are not bound by your past. Instead, you can choose to embody the version of yourself that already exists in the future you desire, allowing that vision to shape your actions in the present moment. Acting from the future requires a shift in perception. The mind often clings to the familiar because it equates the known with safety. This is why so many find themselves repeating the same patterns, unable to break free from cycles of doubt, fear, or limitation. But the future you long for does not lie in the repetition of the past. It is born from new thoughts, new emotions, and new actions. To act from the future means imagining yourself already living in the reality you wish to create, and allowing that vision to guide your every step. The key to acting from the future is to identify with it fully. This means letting go of the identity that ties you to past experiences and embracing the identity of the person you desire to become. If you seek to be successful, begin to think, feel, and behave as a successful person would. If you desire love, embody the qualities of someone who is deeply loved and loving. This is not pretense or wishful thinking, it is a deliberate act of creation. By aligning your present actions with your future self, you set into motion the forces that will bring your vision into reality. Your imagination is the bridge between your present and your future. When you vividly imagine yourself living your desired life, you are not merely daydreaming, you are accessing a higher level of consciousness where all possibilities exist. Close your eyes and see yourself already in possession of what you seek. Feel the emotions associated with that reality: joy, confidence, peace, or love. These feelings are the magnetic forces that draw your future into your present. The more you dwell in the state of your future self, the more your actions will naturally align with that reality. Acting from the future also requires a conscious decision to release the weight of the past. The past can feel like a heavy anchor, keeping you stuck in patterns that no longer serve you. Perhaps you've been conditioned to believe that certain dreams are unattainable, or that your worth is determined by past failures. But these beliefs are illusions. The past has no power except the power you give it. To act from the future, you must forgive yourself and others for past mistakes, release regret, and free yourself from the narrative that you are limited by what has been. One of the challenges of acting from the future is overcoming the doubt and fear that arise when your current circumstances seem far removed from your desired reality. The outer world may try to convince you that change is impossible or that your dreams are unrealistic. But remember, the outer world is merely a reflection of your past inner state. It is not a predictor of your future. Trust in the unseen forces that respond to your intentions. Act as if your future is already here, even when external evidence is lacking. Your consistent belief and action will eventually align your outer world with your inner vision. Patience is a vital aspect of acting from the future. The process of creation unfolds in divine timing, often requiring you to persist in your belief and actions even when results are not immediate. Impatience is a sign of doubt, a signal that you are still tied to the idea that the present circumstances hold more power than your vision. Trust that every step you take from the perspective of your future self is a step closer to realizing that future. The seeds you plant today will bear fruit in due time. Acting from the future does not mean ignoring the present moment. On the contrary, it requires deep awareness and presence. It is about consciously choosing how you respond to your current circumstances, ensuring that your responses align with your desired reality rather than your old patterns. Each moment presents an opportunity to act from a place of creation rather than reaction. By doing so, you reinforce your connection to your future self and strengthen the bridge between your current and desired realities. Surround yourself with influences that support your vision. The environment you immerse yourself in can either reinforce your past or inspire your future. Seek out people, ideas, and experiences that reflect the reality you wish to create. When you expose yourself to these influences, you train your mind to see possibilities rather than limitations. This practice strengthens your ability to act from the future, as it keeps your vision alive and vibrant in your consciousness. To act from the future is to trust in your inherent power to create. It is a declaration that you are not a victim of your circumstances, but the architect of your reality. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desired future, you bring that future into the present. This is not magic or wishful thinking, it is the natural law of creation. You become what you believe yourself to be. Act from the future, not the past, and watch as your life transforms to match the vision you hold within. Gratitude for the present moment is a profound practice that unlocks the fullness of life. It is the conscious choice to appreciate what is here and now, not as a result of circumstances, but as an acknowledgement of the inherent abundance within and around you. Gratitude is not merely about listing things you are thankful for. It is a shift in awareness, a deep connection to the present that allows you to see the beauty, value, and opportunities that exist even in the simplest moments. When you cultivate gratitude, you align yourself with the frequency of abundance. The world around you becomes a reflection of this inner state, offering you more to be grateful for. Gratitude is not dependent on what you have or lack. It is a state of being, independent of conditions. It invites you to stop waiting for some future event or possession to feel fulfilled, and instead opens your eyes to the richness of what already exists. It shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present. The human mind is often drawn to lack, constantly identifying what is wrong or incomplete. This focus creates feelings of frustration, dissatisfaction, and longing. But when you choose gratitude, you redirect your attention to what is already working in your life. This shift transforms your energy, moving you from a state of need to a state of fulfillment. By appreciating what you have now, you signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more. But the present moment is all you truly have, and gratitude anchors you to it. The past is a memory, the future a projection, only the now is real. Gratitude deepens your connection to this reality, reminding you that life unfolds in the here and now. When you embrace the present with gratitude, you become more aware of the small blessings that often go unnoticed: the warmth of the sun, the breath flowing through your body, the presence of a loved one. These seemingly ordinary moments take on extraordinary meaning when seen through the lens of gratitude. Also transforms challenges into opportunities for growth. Life is not without its struggles, and it is easy to fall into despair when faced with difficulties. Yet even in the midst of adversity, there is something to be grateful for. Challenges teach resilience, reveal inner strength, and often lead to unexpected blessings. When you approach hardship with gratitude, you shift your perspective from one of victimhood to one of empowerment. You begin to see that every experience, no matter how painful, carries a lesson or a gift. This practice of gratitude also nurtures inner peace. The constant striving for more success, more possessions, more recognition creates a sense of restlessness and inadequacy. Gratitude quiets this yearning, replacing it with contentment. It reminds you that you are enough, that your life is enough as it is in this moment. This does not mean you stop aspiring or growing. Rather, it means you approach your desires from a place of abundance rather than lack. It is a bridge to connection, deepening your relationships with others. When you express genuine gratitude to the people in your life, you strengthen your bonds and foster mutual appreciation. Gratitude allows you to see the good in others, focusing on their positive qualities rather than their flaws. It opens your heart, making you more compassionate and understanding. This simple act of acknowledging the contributions of others enriches both your life and theirs, creating a ripple effect of positivity. A daily gratitude practice can be transformative. Begin and end your day by reflecting on what you are grateful for. This need not be a grand or time-consuming ritual. Even a few moments of sincere reflection can shift your energy. Write down 3 things you appreciate about your day, or silently express gratitude for the blessings in your life. Over time, this practice rewires your brain, training it to seek out the good in every situation. What you focus on expands, and gratitude ensures that your focus remains on abundance. Gratitude is also a powerful force in manifestation. When you express gratitude for your desires as though they are already fulfilled, you align yourself with the energy of receiving. This practice strengthens your belief in the reality of your vision and signals to the universe your readiness to embrace it. Gratitude bridges the gap between the present and the future, allowing you to act as though your desires are already yours. This attitude of gratitude accelerates the process of manifestation, drawing your dreams into your reality. It is important to note that gratitude is not about denying pain or pretending that everything is perfect. Life is a balance of joys and sorrows, and both have their place. Gratitude does not ask you to ignore the difficulties you face, but to look for the light within them. It is a recognition that even in darkness, there is something to be thankful for: a lesson, a moment of clarity, or the strength to persevere. Gratitude is not a denial of reality, but a deeper engagement with it. As you cultivate gratitude for the present, you begin to notice how rich your life already is. The practice shifts your energy, bringing you into alignment with joy, abundance, and peace. It opens your eyes to the countless blessings that surround you, reminding you that you are always supported, always provided for. Gratitude transforms your perspective, your energy, and ultimately your life. It is not just an emotion, but a way of being, a sacred acknowledgement of the beauty of the present moment. In embracing gratitude, we uncover the profound truth that life's beauty and abundance are always within our reach, no matter our circumstances. By shifting our focus from lack to fulfillment, from yearning to appreciation, we transform not only our outlook but our entire experience of reality. Gratitude anchors us in the present, the only moment where life truly unfolds, and it empowers us to see challenges as opportunities, relationships as blessings, and the ordinary as extraordinary. Let us choose to live each day with hearts open to gratitude, for it is through this practice that we align ourselves with peace, joy, and abundance. Gratitude is the lens through which we see the perfection of our lives, not in their absence of struggle, but in the presence of infinite possibilities. By making gratitude a way of life, we enrich ourselves, uplift those around us, and invite a future filled with even greater blessings. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of gratitude. May your journey forward be filled with appreciation, peace, and the fulfillment of all your desires.